Today from Norman, the Battle of Oklahoma between the Cowboys and the Sooners.
This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Chevrolet, who invites you to see today's Chevy, drive today's Chevy, live today's Chevy. By U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start. By AC Delco, General Motors Corporation quality replacement parts for just about anything that moves. AC Delco, the smart parts. And by Owens Corning, our building products put your house in the pink.
Cowboys of Oklahoma State with a record of 9-1, ranked 3rd in the nation. Their only loss to Nebraska. Coach Pat Jones, first season, no Oklahoma State football team has ever won 10 games. One of the great stories of any college football season is for a young man to be appointed head coach in the late spring and then take his squad, tie all the pieces together, and march his way toward the annual traditional with a record of 9-1. And Pat Jones, in his very first turn as a head coach, has done exactly that. And he has come onto the field today wearing an Oklahoma State sweater, one that harkens back to the traditions of the great basketball mentor at Oak State, Henry Iba. And now, in the red shirts, from the other side of the field, the Oklahoma Sooners are assembling to make their entry with a record of 8-1-1, ranked 2nd in the nation. Switzer took a tumble as he came onto the field, and lucky he didn't get run over, pell-mell by that crowd. The Sooners only lost to Kansas. It is still a haunting loss. Their tie was against Texas. Buried with a record of 114, 22-4 as the head coach of the Sooners. At least he didn't pull a hamstring. And he's going to have some trouble because he's got a couple of people with pulled hamstrings. I'm Keith Jackson along with Frank Broyles. And Frank, it would seem to me that we have come once again to a ball game where we have new success in the case of Oklahoma State versus tradition on Oklahoma's side.
Well, Keith, tradition means at least 7 points when the players are equal. Let's put this in perspective. Oklahoma's won 16 of the last 17, 7 in a row. No player on the Cowboy team has ever beaten Oklahoma. So what does this mean? If adversity sets into every football game on both sides, and if Oklahoma has adversity, they know and believe they can win. They've done it before. So I think it's very important that the Cowboys score first and have some early success.
By this time of the year, everybody's got a book on everybody else. They know what you do under certain circumstances and normally which player's going to try to do it. But if ever there was a game where you want to leave trend, this would seem to be the day.
Well, the favorite plays of each team are so known that differences in strategy would make the difference in the early goings in particular. I look for both teams to throw a lot on first down, Keith. They're predominantly running, but to change up, to try to get the timing away from the other team is very important.
And part of that, of course, rests in the fact that both are outstanding, and I mean outstanding defensive teams. But let's turn to the two quarterbacks. Both are seniors, but they are utterly dissimilar in the kind of a game they play. Bradley of Oklahoma and Hilger of Oklahoma State.
Danny Bradley is a runner, can throw the deep pass. He runs the option play, scrambles, and the success Oklahoma has today, if they are successful, Bradley will be tired. He'll be bruised and sore. On the other hand, Hilger is a rocking chair quarterback, throwing mostly from the pocket, letting the running be done by the other players. He's in command, and if they have a good game successfully, he'll be rested. That's the difference.
And the Oklahoma State defensive unit is not terribly big, so if the Sooners are able to control the football for any great period of time, one would guess that the Cowboy defensive unit may tend to wear down as we come toward the end of the ball game. But what a day this is for the state of Oklahoma and college football at the University of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State University, which is located in Stillwater. It's the highest price ticket in Oklahoma State now getting ready to kick off here at Owen Field in Norman. Oklahoma State won the toss. They will take the second half ball, so Oklahoma gets it first. Last year, close one, Oklahoma State almost had them. but let him get off the hook, and you can see the Sooners have dominated through the years they have played, this being the 79th meeting. In the fourth quarter, late in the ball game, Texas and Baylor, and the Bears are leading. That is a final score now. Baylor has defeated Texas 24-10. That Southwest Conference situation is so tangled up, it's incredible. South Carolina trailed all day against Clemson, but now very late in the ball game, South Carolina has gone ahead of Clemson 22-21. So the Gamecocks are back up to their tricks that have carried them to great success this season, refusing to yield and fighting back until the last second has ticked off.
I would expect Mike Hull, the relief quarterback, came in, Keith, like he has all year long for South Carolina. Pulled them out.
Roach will kick it off. Larry Roach closing out a brilliant career at Oklahoma State, a senior from Dallas, Texas. Buster Rhymes, number 4, and Patrick Collins, number 33, are the deep people. Roach hits it, and number 79 is on between the Cowboys and the Sooners, and Rhymes, way back in the end zone, will not return it. It'll be Oklahoma's ball, first down at the 20. With Danny Bradley, a senior from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, opening. Great wishbone quarterback, Lydell Carr, true freshman from Enid, Oklahoma, 195 pounds. Spencer Tillman still bothered by a hamstring pull, 210. Darrell Weddington starts today ahead of Steve Sewell, 195-pounder. Derek Shepard is a wide receiver at 5'11", 185. And we're ready now for the first snap of the football game. Sewell may play some today, but not a lot, unless, of course, the adrenaline starts flowing and he gets emotionally involved and can overcome a sore leg. Buster Rhymes is wide along with Shepard, and the first play is a pass upfield to Shepard, and he was very close to the first down marker. They'll put him down at the 29 as Mark Moore belted him out. Keith Jackson is the tight end, a freshman, 235 pounds. Dave Dillingham at tackle, 270 pounds. Jeff Pickett, a guard, at 275. Chuck Thomas, all-conference center, 275. Eric Pope, a guard, at 275, 6'2". And Brent Burks at 6'7", 270 is the other tackle for Oklahoma. Now the Sooners come up with Buster Rhymes having gone out of the ball game for the moment, and Weddington. Number 30 shifts over, a senior from Temple, Texas, and they're set up in the wishbone. Give it to Tillman. Big hole up the middle for Spencer Tillman. And he slashes up across the 35 to the 37 and a first down. James Ham, Rodney Harding, John Washington, Leslie O'Neill, and David Webb. Down 5. Matt Munger and Ricky Adams, the linebackers for the Cowboys, with Yancey, Moore, Hudson, and Hines in the defensive secondary.
Oklahoma on first down went to the pass, caught Oklahoma State, surprised them, and completed and set up the first down.
You might remember that Oklahoma opened against Nebraska last week, determined to establish the fullback out of the wishbone, and so far the fullback has not seen the ball. And it is Spencer Tillman slashing over the right side, and Great Seal blocking on that side of the line from Dillingham and Jackson, and it's another first down. So it is final now. South Carolina comes back to beat Clemson 22-21. And Clemson came off probation last Wednesday.
The Oklahoma defense can run, really run up and down the line. Their tackles and nose guard are 4-7 in the 40. What do you do against a team like that? You run right at them if you possibly can.
They've marked him on the chalk at the 46 and just short of his first down. So he first hit the sidelines just short of it. This time they go inside with the fullback Carr. And the freshman from Enid moves it over midfield. And the Sooners now pick up the first down. Just on the Oklahoma side of the field.
The Oklahoma State defense are lined up in what we would call in coaching a special defense. They've got a middle headhunter lined up right behind the center to take the quarterback, Bradley, either way that he runs with the football. They have no defensive end on the wide side of the field.
Just over midfield for the Sooners, first down. In the opening possession of the ball game, this time Bradley keeps it, and the Cowboys jump him at the 45, but he picks up 5 yards. If you get 5 yards or more on first down out of the wishbone, you're going to win a football game.
Wishbone teams are accused of not throwing the ball much, but when they make 5 yards, here's the comparisons of the offenses for this year. You can see they're virtually even in both running and passing, similar. But if a wishbone team makes 5 yards, Keith, on first down and 3, and here's the defensive comparisons. You can see how strong they are. We'll continue on that other. It's been leading in top 10 both the key categories on defense.
Bradley turns, gives to Tillman. Tillman this time is caught. Number 80 stepped in there, John Washington, along with Matt Munger, number 90, and they bring him down short of his first down. They'll be looking at third and about 2.
One of the things that Oklahoma is likely to do, they've already shown the tendency of running away from Leslie O'Neal, the great defensive lineman, number 99, the right tackle. Each play has been run away from him at Washington and Harding on the left side, who are not quite as strong physically.
Do not want to challenge Mr. O'Neal because he's one of the best in the nation. Third and 2. Tillman. And he has the first down as he reaches the 38-yard line of Oklahoma State. Again, it's Matt Munger, but it's impressive the way the Oklahoma offensive front is getting the surge against the Cowboys.
Here's the graphic that is so important. Tillman and Johnson, freshmen last year, rushed for 2,035 yards. This year combined, they've rushed for 420. How has Oklahoma adjusted to that subpar performance? We'll talk about it a little later.
First down just short of the 38 on the Cowboy side of the field. Bradley fumbles the football, and it is recovered by Keith Jackson, the tight end. Seeing the ball come loose, goes back behind the line of scrimmage and covers it at the 43.
I don't know what Jackson is doing back there. At the bottom of your screen, 88, he's coming in to block. He's blocking the end to the inside, takes him on in with a beautiful block. Good thing he's such a good blocker because it takes him right to the football. His momentum takes him right to the football for the recovery.
Carr knocked the ball out of Bradley's hand.
Some penetration, it looked like, Keith, that caused the faulty ball handling.
No, Carr just hit his arm.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. It is second down and close to 15. Ball goes to Tillman, get him out there one-on-one, and Spencer trying to cut it back inside. Loses his footing on the artificial surface and goes down right about the line of scrimmage.
I asked Barry Switzer, how has he made up for that subpar performance of Tillman and Johnson because of the injuries? He said that they have done a better job of disciplining their offense. Fewer fumbles, fewer turnovers, interceptions, and fewer penalties. The key, they've cut their penalties, Keith, in more than half. Last year in this ball game, they had 15 penalties and 6 turnovers.
It is third down and still 15. Oklahoma State does not have a center fielder right now. Bradley straight back. Pressure's on him. They got him by the coattail, and down he goes, Leslie O'Neal, number 99. And he got him back across midfield.
The blitz was on. Third and long is a perfect time, ideal time to rush Bradley. 99, O'Neal runs a 4.7. One of the best tackles we've seen play not only this year, any year. He stays after Bradley and throws him to the ground.
Mike Winchester is in to kick, and Bobby Riley goes deep for the Cowboys. Standing back at his 15. Bad kick by Winchester. Wynn knocks it down. May have been tipped a little bit. There was pressure there. The ball trickles out of bounds, and Oklahoma State's going to come out of this with pretty good field position up on their own 29-yard line. Possession now from their 29 as the Oklahoma defense stops the Sooners. And Rusty Hilger sets him up with Thurman Thomas and Kelly Cook lined up behind him out of the I formation. And they go to the run on the first play and give it to the I-back, the freshman Thurman Thomas from Missouri City, Texas. And he's in there for about 7. There's Rusty Hilger, a senior quarterback, 6'4", 205. There's Thurman Thomas, who just carried the ball. Will Timmons was listed to start, but instead Kelly Cook is in there at fullback. Jamie Harris is wide receiver at 5'10", 170, and Malcolm Lewis, 6'3", and 210. And there's Pat Jones, who has already become a remarkable story this football season. Second down, call it 3. Get it back to Thomas. He is hit right about the line of scrimmage. Surges ahead, but he is still going to be a half a yard or so short of his first down. Barry Hanna's the tight end, 6'2", 230. Paul Blair, 250 pounds. Ralph Pardita at guard, 255. David Tucker, the center, 270. Derek Burton, the guard, is 270. And Chuck Shanklin at tackle is 260. 3rd and 1 for Oklahoma State. 38% on the season in third down conversion. Quarterback Hilger to the 40, first down. Rusty Hilger is just as important to Oklahoma State's success today as Danny Bradley is to Oklahoma, but in such different ways. Now, here's the defensive unit for Oklahoma. That defensive front anchored by All-American Casillas. The linebackers are young but very, very fast. And the secondary handled themselves admirably with the loss of Johnson and Stanbury, two starters who were injured in an automobile accident. It is first down for the Cowboys, so both teams are able to pick up a first down in their first series. Hilger goes to the pass. A little swing thrown out there to Thurman Thomas. And Thomas turns it upfield for 9 yards.
The best thing that Oklahoma State does offensively is control passing, throwing the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Hilger has only thrown for 4 interceptions. Yes, only 4 out of 214 attempts. When you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, your defense depends on making good tackles to hold it to a minimum. Oklahoma couldn't do it. 9-yard gain.
Hanna and Dillard now are in, pair of tight ends on second down and short yardage. And Thomas is busy. He's got a first down as he puts it down near the Oklahoma 48-yard line for another first. And let's check in with Jim.
All right, Keith, you already gave the final score in Texas and Baylor. Here is the last Baylor touchdown, a poetic statement on the Texas season. Todd Dodge looking for a receiver. Thomas Everett picked it off for Baylor, went 45 yards for a touchdown. There were just too many of these in what some thought would be a national championship season for the Longhorns. You remember in their first loss to Houston, Dodge threw 6 interceptions, and Grant Taft is now 5-2 at home in his career against Texas.
No one has those kind of numbers against Texas, Chief, not in the Southwest Conference. Good.
Thurman Thomas is nailed short of the line of scrimmage.
Keith, that's the first time on the first down play that Oklahoma State has not been successful. Now they've got to probably go to their passing game, second and long.
Second down, 10 yards to go.
Thomas has been busy, as we told you. He has had the ball on 5 of 6 OSU plays so far. We're in the first quarter, just getting underway. No score. Second down, 10. Hilger back, short drop, and tries to hit number 8, Lewis, coming across on a short pattern. And there were red shirts all over the place. Sonny Brown, strong safety, was the principal defender on the play.
Hilger is changing the play at the line. He sees the coverage, and in Oklahoma, after the audible, drops back into double coverage. So the Oklahoma receivers were covered beautifully there. Brown, number 8, was right there. The ball is deflected in the air. Some of the Oklahoma players didn't know it. Otherwise, it could have intercepted it.
He didn't have much yardage on the play, even if it had worked.
Oklahoma did a good job changing the defense.
Hilger back on a deep drop, goes deep with the ball, and his receiver, number 83, broke off the pattern, Jamie Harris. He curled it back to the sidelines, and Hilger obviously expected him to cut and go, and he didn't do it.
When you have a great player like Tony Casillas, number 92, and you're going to throw a pass, you always assign 2 blockers to it. You don't let the center take him by himself. Tucker, 67, cannot do it. No center can. You let one of the guards pick him up. Casillas is not going to get into play with 2 men on him like that.
Gary Cooper now is into punt. Carey standing back at the 40, hits it at the 41. Left foot's a high hanger up there, and it hits the ground and then takes an Oklahoma State bounce. They'll kill it deep at the 1. A 47-yard punt. Great coverage by the Cowboys, and the Sooners will have the ball first down at their own 1. Success reflected there. Sooner coach Barry Switcher's had a couple of rough years, and I said to him yesterday, a win today would really make a big year for you.
You bet it is. You know, I'm happy for our seniors and our football program and all, but Barry Switzer needed this, Keith. There's no doubt about it, and we've played well, and even if we don't win the football game, we've had a great season, and we're playing a fine football team. We beat a great one in Nebraska. We played Texas when they were 1. We've done some things this year a lot of people didn't think we could, and so we're satisfied.
Keith Barry is a great communicator, motivator of his team. His players love him and play hard for him.
let's talk about field position now. The Sooners are forced to start from their 1 as a result of Cooper's kick and the Cowboys downing it. And Thurman Thomas was the man who downed it. They are forced to be conservative here as they give it to Carr, and he wedges out for a yard, and that's all. But a mistake here would be deadly.
Chief, as you mentioned, they have to be conservative here. The triple option is not the play you want to run. You don't want to be pitching that ball behind your goal line, so they've got to go to a different style of play, an auxiliary offense, where they're handing the ball off, trying to hammer it out of there.
They've got Jackson in at tight end along with Tim Randolph now, so they've got the power guys in, and they give it to Carr, the fullback, and number 44 steps right up in there and belts him, Mark Moore. There was no gain on the play, and again, Jim Lampley.
And Keith, today's South Carolina win might have been the most impressive Gamecock win all season. They trailed for the entire game, scored on a Mike Hold run with 54 seconds to go. The change today was that Hold went all the way. Mitchell did not start as he had before the loss to Navy. This victory, of course, is only going to make last week's loss to Navy even more painful for Gamecock backers. They could have been number 1, Keith.
Yes, they certainly could have.
Well, they've had the best year they've ever had. It's already been mentioned, and Joe Morrison and his staff are certainly to be congratulated and praised.
3rd down and 9 for the Sooners now at the 2. Here comes Carr. They let him get loose, but they get him just short of the first down. They drop him at the 10, and it will bring up 4th and 1, and the big freshman almost popped it out of there.
Carr, the fullback, and that's a tough role to come in as a freshman, as Keith already mentioned. There he is, number 45. Playing that very important role of the fullback in the wishbone, making yardage up the middle, taking the pounding, the beating that he does on virtually every play.
All right, now Winchester had a 40-yarder, his 24-yarder, his first kick today, and he's standing in his end zone. The snap was high, the pressure was on, but he gets it out. He's averaging right at 40, and he kicks well upfield to the 48. A 39-yard punt with no return on it. And so Winchester does a pretty good job this time kicking out of his end zone. But still, it's good field position for Oklahoma State. Of Sooner punter Mike Winchester here as Wendell Yancey bears down on him, but he gets it out of there.
In kicking the ball, you want to get the punt off in 2.1. The snap was high, Keith, and by the time the kicker catches the ball, pulls it down, it takes about another 0.3 of a second, and sometimes those get blocked.
All right, here are the Cowboys on the Sooner 48, first down. It's Charles Crawford, the big eye back, and he does get around the corner somewhat. Crawford is 6'2", 230, a sophomore from Bristow, and according to the coaches, had his best week of practice all season this week, but there he picks up only 2.
Here are the Cowboys winning his teams. You can see that they're 9-1. They have a chance for the first time, either in this game or in the bowl game, to win 10 for the first time.
2nd down and 8 for the Cowboys, just short of the Oklahoma 46. They've got a 6-man front up there wearing red defensively. He'll do that little swing out there, and it doesn't work this time. Great defensive play. The little swing pass is thrown out to Jamie Harris, but Tony Rayburn, who has stepped in to play when Andre Johnson was hurt, and boom, boy, did he make a great play.
Here's an interesting score, Keith. 17-10 now, number 1 Brigham Young over Utah State. Well, Penn State, I know, had a letdown after the big victory by Notre Dame last week. Well, that's a big one going. Houston is still fighting for part of the championship in the Southwest Conference. They've only lost two times.
3rd down and 15 now as Hilger drops back to throw. Goes down the middle with it and misses his man. The pass was thrown hard, intended for Terry Weimer, the split end. And Oklahoma State is unable to take advantage of their field position in this possession, and so they'll have to punt it away. Maryland winning the ACC today with that victory over the Virginia Cavaliers. Buster Rhymes and Sonny Brown go deep now for Oklahoma, and Kerry Cooper is in. That's Kerry, not Gary.
He's punting with a pretty good wind, maybe 10 miles an hour.
He shanks one, and it takes an Oklahoma bounce. And here's what can happen to you now. They had Oklahoma pinned up on the 1-yard line. They kick it out. They take it on a 48, And now he shanks one 25, and the Sooners have good field position. This past June, Pat Jones was named to succeed Jimmy Johnson at OSU. I asked him if he'd had time to assess what a great year he's had.
I've been numb ever since June the 8th when Jimmy took the job at Miami, you know, and I got this one. All of a sudden, you know, here we destroy Arizona State, and from there on, here it goes. So, no, I haven't had time to sit back and savor anything.
But he will.
He's proven himself, I repeat. He's really worked hard to get to this stature in this place in college football.
From the 28, Oklahoma goes to work down. First down. Bradley gives the ball to Tillman. And Spencer Tillman, with that slashing quickness of his, is close to a first down.
The Oklahoma coaches decided during this week if they're going to run at Leslie O'Neal, they're going to run power plays, nothing quick. They're going to try to double team him. The same strategy that Oklahoma State is using against their great Oklahoma's All-American, Casillas.
It is a first down, yet even with the hash mark at the 38-yard line. Cowboys holding their 52 defense right now. Bradley on a little delay gives it inside to Damon Stell, a freshman from Oklahoma City. Stell hits the ground. The ball
is dead.
Is called down.
Yes. One official called it down. They're arguing about it now. They're shaking their head. Nope, they're letting it stay.
Ball is down at the 49 for another first down. So the freshman from Oklahoma City, Damon Stell, picks up 11.
It's the reverse play, kind of a counter play, and you can see the trap. A big hit coming up right there. I guess that's Moore, 44?
Yep.
Boy, did he put a headgear on him. He was down. The ground caused the fumble. The play is over.
The misdirection caused Ricky Adams to run right past the play, too, the linebacker. That's what made it work. So on first down, they turn, give the ball to Spencer Tillman, and he gets whipsawed after 2 yards, maybe 3, close to the 48 of Oklahoma State. Matt Munger coming in for the tackle.
Matt Munger's an interesting story. Probably the best walk-on that's ever come to Oklahoma State. Worked his way up, plays way above his ability. Not that fast, but gets into a lot of football, a lot of plays. He's had 159 tackles this year. You can see how he reads, reacts, and makes the tackle.
Second down and 7. Bradley back to throw. Got a man wide open down the middle, the tight end, Jackson. And they gang up on him and bring him down at the 24 of Oklahoma State.
A little bootleg fake. Bradley fakes to the halfback, rolls out, and finds Jackson, the tight end, in behind. When the linebackers are playing the wishbone, they're up close. Also, Hines, the free safety, was over-covering the wide out, leaving the middle wide open for the reception.
Oh, he's a big, strong young one, isn't he?
235 pounds, and he runs the 4.640.
And it's first down Sooners at the Cowboy 24. Bradley gives it to Tillman. And somebody, I think maybe he might have tripped over one of his own people as they started to make his cut. One of the linemen, Eric Pope, had lost his footing and been shoved back, stuck out a leg, and Spencer tripped over it. Auburn and Alabama will open our activity next Saturday at noon Eastern time, and Florida State will follow from Tallahassee at 3:30 Eastern time. And next Saturday, we're going to have an ABC viewer telephone poll, and the question is this, and since everybody seems to be arguing about it, does BYU, playing out in the Western Athletic Conference, deserve to be ranked #1? Tillman is out. Patrick Collins is in for the Sooners. The ball is given off to Ledbetter, number 20, and Jerome Ledbetter runs it for a first down near the 10.
Dillingham and Pickett just opened up the hole. Oklahoma State was in a crazy defense. They're going to run right over the right tackle. Munger, number 90. You can see a perfect block right there. 71 Pickett rolls up the linebacker, and when the fullback Ledbetter has the ball, you block the linebacker. The end runs out for the option play. Look out, you're in trouble.
Ball is just short of the 10, where it's first down for the Sooners. And Collins and Stell with Ledbetter now in the backfield.
These Oklahoma State linebackers so deep, I don't see how they stop anything.
Give the ball to Stell, the 190-pounder. And he pops through there. We did not see him at all last week against Nebraska.
Coaches had told me Weddington was going to play most of it at right halfback, a fifth-year senior, as we look at Mervyn Johnson, the assistant head coach at Oklahoma. But Weddington was a special teams player. So many injuries in the backfield. You have to give this Oklahoma team a great deal of credit, as they have stayed ranked number 2 with a rash of injuries, both defensively and offensively.
Time about gone first quarter. Tillman comes back in and lines up now as an I-back. He's got it. And he's down to about the 6-yard line. So they may get one more snap, but they'll have to be quick about it, and probably not. As we wind down the first quarter of play, Leslie O'Neal made the stop on that last play for the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
The Oklahoma State Cowboys linebackers are at least 5 yards deep, even though the ball is resting inside the 10. That's surprising.
They're taking the time to run down the clock and end the first quarter with no score, while Bradley and Coach Switzer have a talk. Second quarter of play in a scoreless ball game. The Oklahoma Sooners have it on the 6-yard line of Oklahoma State. The 9th play of this possession is 3rd down and a long 5. Danny Bradley back to throw. Into the end zone. Man open. Jackson. Touchdown Sooners. Tight end has become a primary weapon for the Oklahoma Sooners. People have been warned and cautioned and urged not to bring oranges to throw out onto the field, but all of that urging has been wasted because they have just bombarded the field with oranges. They were checking them at the gate, trying to stop them from bringing them in. So there's the first fusillade. Maybe they don't have too many. Here's the extra point try with Tim Lasher, sophomore out of Plano, Texas. The holder is Kyle Irvin, a freshman quarterback. Kick is up and good. So at 14 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the first half, 7-0. The Oklahoma Sooners as they go 72 yards. And you go back to that exchange of punts where Oklahoma gained 21 yards on the exchange, and they took it from there.
3rd and 5, play action. How the Oklahoma State defense was fooled, I'll never know. 3rd and 5, passing down. You can see how wide open Jackson is, has good eye concentration, looks the ball in, catches it for a touchdown.
Rod Brown was totally out of position, the strong safety, and he's got to go with the tight end.
When the tight end just released, Jackson just released off the line, and the safety, as Keith Mitchell, should have picked him up.
The Aggies out to a 20-7 lead over the Horned Frogs at halftime. And TCU may be down just a tad after their struggle of last week. There's that Southwest Conference standings look. Boy, I tell you, you try to figure that thing out.
Well, Arkansas and SMU play tonight. One of those will have at least another loss or a tie. So it will leave, and Houston can beat Texas Tech. It will leave 4 teams tied for the championship.
The Liberty Bowl's affected. Obviously, the Cotton Bowl's affected. The Bluebonnet Bowl's affected. I don't know who else is
Aloha
affected.
Bowl, too, Keith. We'll go over that a little bit later.
Yeah. I don't want to. It's too complicated. I got enough trouble with this football game. Low driving kick that'll take a big bounce and go well back into the end zone, and there will be no return by Bobby Riley. And so the Cowboys will come out and start to work at their own 20.
A little adversity for the Oklahoma State team, something we talked about earlier. Tradition of Oklahoma moving down the field, 9 plays, 72 yards, in for the touchdown. Now the pressure is really on this offense. Here's Keith Jackson, 6-yard touchdown reception. Oklahoma State needs to gather themselves, leadership. One thing that you have to have in adversity situations is good leadership, good seniors. Hilja has to pull them through.
They'll start with Thurman Thomas and Kelly Cook. Cook being the up back and Thomas the deep man out of the I formation. Hilja gives it to Thurman Thomas. And Thomas has 2 out there near the 22 before he is tumbled back by Sonny Brown, number 8.
Well, the Oklahoma defense is really outstanding. And the amazing thing is they've lost 4 starters because of injuries and automobile accidents. 2 outstanding players, but the heart and soul of the defense is the nose guard, Casillas, and the linebacker, Bosworth. you really have to account for them with 1 or 2 people every time. Here are some of the injuries that have happened this year to the Oklahoma Sooners.
Back goes Hilger on 2nd down and 8. Tries to drill one. He tried to force it to Riley, and he's very, very lucky he didn't come out of there with a turnover. Troy Johnson, number 80, shaken up.
You can see how well covered Riley is, number 1. Good push, legal. And he throws the ball right to Rockford, number 2. Johnson, number 80.
Actually,
right
Johnson spoiled the interception, probably. A penalty flag on the field. It's against the Cowboys. John McClintock is the referee. Shorten things out. They're the other gentlemen working the game today. They use 7 in the Big 8 conference. I wish everybody did.
The 7th official is primarily to watch the tight end.
Holding on the offense. It is still 2nd down.
To watch the tight end, Keith. The way the officials operate, the tight end is just not covered by the other 6. Someday we'll probably have 11. I hate to see that day. Look at Pat Jones. His team hasn't had much success.
You get 11 officials, you'll have 7 Meyer ball games.
I want to tell you, I voted for 4.
2nd down and 20. Actually 18. Hilger gets it down the middle. He's got a man wide open, and the gain is good for a 1st down as number 82, or is it 92? It's 82, Barry Hanna, brings it upfield. The other tight end is 92, but that one was Barry Hanna.
How can the receiver be so wide open? The linebackers, you can see 44 and 42 are held by the fake. They go all the way to the right. Now the quarterback, Hilger, who's experienced, 5-year veteran, comes in with the ball to Hanna. 8 Brown finally brings him down, but not before the 1st down. Linebackers cannot cover that play. Safety's got to help out.
So both tight ends now have taken a major role in the offense. Oklahoma leading 7-0. Give the ball to Thomas. That was a mistake, because he is buried at the line of scrimmage. Again, Jim.
You next week. Here is the latest BYU touchdown. First touchdown pass of the day for Robbie Bosco, who twice in this game against Utah State has been shaken up. It's now 24-10 BYU near the end of the 3rd quarter against 1-9 Utah State. Back to you, Keith.
Okay. Still about 10 for Oklahoma State as Hilger drops the throw. Good protection. Now he finally forces one upfield, and lo and behold, it is completed. Great throw, drilled in, but a greater catch by Harris because there were 2 Sooners right there with him.
Harris coming back to meet the ball is the only thing that prevented the interception and allowed the catch. Harris, 83, a big league receiver. Now watch him come back to the ball. If he hadn't, it would have been intercepted, I believe, by Rockford. Brown right there also. Hilger again, quarterback showing his experience.
1st down for the Cowboys at their 47. Hilger dumps it. Pressure was on him. And number 61 was the guy who was really giving him the business, Mike Aljo, and Mike now is hurt.
Here's 92, the All-American nose guard. Watch how many people Oklahoma State assigns to be sure that Casillas, who has 11 sacks, first to center, they got the backs right there waiting on the fullback. Porter's right there. They're not going to let him through. Casillas going to be tired, Keith.
Aljo is the man hurt, and Mike was the one who came through with all the attention being paid to Tony Casillas. Somebody else has got to have less resistance, and that time it was Aljo. 7-0 Sooners.
The Oklahoma sideline, they've just taken Mike Aljo over here to the bench. The trainers are working on him even as we speak. Mike said he could feel it pop on the inside of his knee. They're going to put ice on it right away, Keith, try to keep the swelling down. They are examining it, but it's bad news when they say you can feel it pop on the inside.
Well, we know that feeling, don't we? Well, you ought to be happy today. Your Terps won again.
Great job by Bobby Ross.
2nd down and 10 as Hilger sets it up to throw it deep. Gets it off. He's overthrown his mark. Malcolm Lewis, he pumped it once. There was some pressure from the blind side coming from, looked like Tommy Flemings. And then he tried to unload it deep down the middle for Lewis, who has good speed, and Malcolm could not get to it.
We're featuring Casillas because number 92, because he's one of the real great players in America. You can see him fight through the double team block and grabs Hilger by the ankle. Then Hilger gets away from it and throws the ball, but I believe having to move over to the right forced him to overthrow the open receiver.
Clemens was the big guy coming on a full march, and he got it away just in time. And it's 3rd down and 10. Hilger looks again. Down he goes this time. And this time, Tommy Flemings got it. See, that's what happens when you get preoccupied with one player on the defensive front. That opens it up for somebody else.
Steve, that's a good point. When you double team Casillas, you're leaving the tackle single block, and that's exactly what happened. Flynn comes all the way around Burton, left guard, and makes the play. Extra effort by Flemings, number 93.
And Cooper is in to punt. 47 and 25, and 2 kicks. Into the wind, and it hangs it up, and a fair catch is called for Oklahoma at the 33. 31-yard punt. Sonny Brown made the catch, and that's where the Sooners will go to work. Getting to be quite gray here as the clouds move in. ABC's NFL football this coming week, 2 games. The New York Jets will go to Miami next Monday, and of course the Dolphins are already in. The Jets are still in the hunt. Washington still in the chase. Will be playing Minnesota on Thursday night, both games at 9 Eastern time here on ABC. From the 33 now, 1st down for Oklahoma. And this is Lydell Carr. He is grabbed by John Washington, the middle guard, number 80, but his leg drive gets him 3 yards.
Seldom do you see a middle guard numbered 80, but Washington was a defensive end, moved into the middle guard position, and has solidified this great Oklahoma State defense. Has been so successful all year long.
It would make our life a lot tolerable if they just assigned numbers and positions and kept them that way.
And let the press box be a little closer to the field.
Only 22 stories.
Oh, at least.
2nd down and 7. Bradley coming down the line, delivers the pitch out to Spencer Tillman. And Tillman turning it upfield is going to be a couple of yards short of the 1st down.
In talking to Spencer Tillman yesterday about his pull muscle and his struggling year,
here's an idea of we're up on top. Well, not on the very tip top. But
Tillman was telling me yesterday that since he can't practice, it's hard to get the timing. Pull muscle, he's never able to run full speed in practice. You're always fearful that you'll injure it again. And so he goes through practice just kind of loping and gets in the ball game, but he's made rush for 45 yards today.
Got it again, but whistle stop him, and there's a penalty flag fluttering up from one of the linesmen on 3rd down and about 2.
And when we speak of Spencer Tillman, we speak of an all-conference football player as a freshman last year, rushed for over 1,000 yards.
Penalties against Oklahoma, an illegal procedure call, and Tim Brandt now confirms that Mike Aljo is gone for this ball game because of the knee injury.
Mike Aljo was playing the defensive end against the run.
False start on the offense.
Troy Johnson would come in against the pass, so that is the same position that Murphy, the great all-conference player, started the season and was injured against Pittsburgh and is going to be redshirted for the year.
He's available, however. This is his 4th year. He could go on if he wanted to, but he indicated yesterday that he wants to come back.
Well, he had 2 years of all-conference, sophomore and junior. One of the fine players in this Big 8 conference.
3rd down and still 7 as Bradley wings one complete. And it is good for the 1st down at the 46. Derek Shepard, the sophomore out of Odessa, Texas. Mark Moore brought him down.
When you play against the wishbone, most of the time you'll draw one-on-one coverage. People ask me all the time, why don't you double cover the wide receivers? Well, if you do that, you take so many men out of the running game that you cannot stop the run. So single coverage, Shepard too fast, good fake deep, and open for the short reception.
Bradley is now 4 out of 4, 48 yards and a touchdown. And the Sooners at their own 46, 1st down. Tillman trying to get to the outside and can't do it. Ricky Adams, linebacker, found his way through the traffic and brought him down after a yard.
BYU's having a little bit more trouble than we might anticipate. Utah State, as Jim Lampley mentions, only won 1 game this year.
10 yards to go.
Mike Cole, isn't that something? Mike Cole is a junior college transfer. Started his first game today. Pulled his team from behind. South Carolina won a big one.
2nd and 9. Bradley gives it away. Spencer Tillman can't turn it upfield. That's good pursuit. Mike Hudson, number 10, was there, but so was 99, Mr. O'Neill.
Mike Hudson, number 10, is the hit man. The reason that Oklahoma State's playing a somewhat different defense, Hines, the free safety, is not a good tackler. He's a former quarterback, and the free safety against the wishbone has to make the big play, so they've got another hit man. Hudson is lined up right behind the center, and he is mirroring Bradley, the quarterback, and runs with him each direction.
We go inside 9 minutes to go in the first half. Oklahoma 7, Oklahoma State nothing.
Again, you see how deep the linebackers are.
Bradley back on 3rd and long. Penalty flag thrown. Pass is overthrown to Derek Shepard, who was all by himself. The Oklahoma State defender had fallen down, and Shepard was alone. Mark Moore lost his footing. But let's see about the penalty flag. See if it's truly what might have been.
Well, Keith, once again, we saw the Wishbone's passing attack having a chance
Oklahoma,
for a
so it had
touchdown.
wiped it out anyway.
I believe that I'd decline it. Make them punt the ball. No.
It's against Oklahoma. Oh, it's offsetting.
Here's Shepard, number 3, giving a little fake, and as Keith mentioned, Moore, number 44, gets his feet tangled up. Something a defensive halfback had better not do. Here's O'Neill, number 99, watching. They're holding him. Number 71, it appears, yes, Pickett grabs a hold of him and pulls him down. Cannot do that.
So they had offsetting penalties, and now comes the
offsetting penalties. They replay the down, and Switzer is yelling bloody murder. Look at him out on the field.
He's trying to call timeout, and he can't get anybody's attention. It's 3rd down, offsetting penalties, and the punting team's out there, so there's a mistake on the part of the Sooners. Barry trying to get a timeout, but the kicking team was already out there.
I'm not sure. Barry has the option of calling timeout. He can insist for a timeout. If he wins the argument, the timeout doesn't count against him. If he loses it, it's one of his timeouts. We'll be right back and see what happens.
Well, Barry Switzer still stomping around on the sidelines. It was 3rd down on offsetting penalties. The kicking team was out there, and he didn't want him to punt. He wanted to run the extra play. But he couldn't get anybody's attention, and he couldn't get the officials to acknowledge his request for a timeout. So they kicked it. Here's Oklahoma State, first down at its own 14 after a 40-yard punt. And they give the ball to Thurman Thomas. And Thomas is turned upside down at the 17.
Running right at the middle of the Oklahoma defense is very difficult. You have 2 outstanding linebackers in Miliazzo and Bosworth, and the great middle nose guard in Casillas.
How about not only difficult, but you just ain't going to do it?
No, you have to just try to run in just for some residual benefits maybe, but you're not going to make much yardage.
Oak State averaging just over 3 yards on first down. Here's that little swing pass now to Thomas coming out of the backfield. And Thomas is held a couple of yards short of his first down. So it'll be 3rd down and short. Here's Tim Brent.
Keith, I was just talking to the Oklahoma personnel trying to find out what the discrepancy was on that punt. The situation was one official said it was offsetting penalties. Then the referee came over and said it wasn't. It's 4th down. So Barry thought that it was 3rd down, tried to get a timeout, but then they settled it, said no, it's 4th down. So Oklahoma was right to punt.
Sonny Weaver and Sonny Brown defending on that
Well, I
play.
clearly saw him indicate offsetting penalties.
Offsetting penalties, you replay the down.
But apparently it wasn't that in total fact. 3rd down and a yard and a half. And Hill's just going to put it up on 3rd and short. I'll rephrase that. He was going to try to put it up. But there was nobody downfield to throw the ball to. He just simply had nobody. He only had 2 people downfield, and they were both consumed by the Sooner secondary. And so Oklahoma State now is forced to punt into the wind, and the Sooners should come out of here with very good field position.
Watch Casillas, number 92, use his hands. He is some physical specimen, 270 pounds, but he wants to be a dominant football player. The coaches talked to me yesterday. They said the thing that makes him great, sets him apart from others, is he wants to be great.
Kerry Cooper now punting deep out of his own territory, and he hits a bad one. He may get lucky, though, and get a bounce, and he does. So he hit a knuckleball upfield, a bit of a tail dragger, and sure enough, he got a good bounce out of it, and it rolls all the way to the Oklahoma 26. To footnote some of the comments that have already been made about Tony Casillas, let's turn to his coach, Barry Switzer.
Well, I said earlier, and I say today, that we've had two great dominant college football players here. Leroy Selmon was the first pick in the draft his senior year and was the best player in college football. He is the only better player that we've had better than Tony Casillas, and Tony's eligibility is not over with. He might be the #1 player pick next year, and he is a dominant college football player.
He's resting now as the offense comes to the field. First down from the 26. Give the ball to Tillman. And Tillman over the right side. And the man that spoiled the play, really, was Matt Munger, number 90. As he went through the traffic, though he was knocked down, he grabbed Tillman's leg as Spencer went by. Gain of 3. $7-0 the Sooners, with 6 minutes to play in the first half. The winner goes to the Orange Bowl. The loser goes to the Gator Bowl. The winner gets a share of the Big 8 Conference Championship and the possibility of remaining a national title contender. Bradley on a bootleg, looks to throw, hums it to the sideline. Shepard caught it, paid for it, but he's got a first down at the 39. Mark Moore, the sophomore from Nacogdoches, Texas, brought him down.
Moore made 2 great interceptions against Nebraska, but Shepard is just too quick. He's given him a big cushion, then want to give him the ball, make Oklahoma go the hard way. Short passes if they're going to throw the ball, nothing deep. Here's what Shepard has done: 19 receptions, 13 yards per reception average.
I tell you that Mark will hit you, won't he?
Yes, he will. Mark, they say he's one of the best young defensive backs they've ever had at Oklahoma State.
On first down, Sooners send a man in motion. That's Tillman. Give it inside. Carrying the ball, Jerome Ledbetter. And a penalty flag thrown on the sideline. He's close to a first down. I thought I saw the yellow towel go sailing through the air, and I did.
Lydell Cars, the freshman, is getting help at fullback by Ledbetter, number 20, who weighs 225 pounds. Kind of a good change of pace, Keith. Lydell Cars fast. Ledbetter is powerful. Takes 2 fullbacks in the wishbone. Every wishbone coach has told me that you got 2 good fullbacks, you're way ahead of the game in the wishbone attack.
Probably an inadvertent face mask here.
A face mask penalty, 5 yards, first down.
So the Sooners are on the Cowboy side of the field again. See the grab right there. Moore.
About the only way he got him down. I think he'd have missed the tackle if he hadn't had the face mask.
Collins is in. Tillman is out now for the Sooners. The ball at the Oklahoma State 46. And back goes Bradley. And he loops one to the sidelines, and a good play by Mark Moore. Slaps it up over the outstretched hands of Derek Shepard.
Moore made a great play on Shepard. Good call is to go out and up, and that's what Oklahoma had done. Let Shepard fake out the pass he'd completed twice to see if Moore's ready to bite on it. He shoved him so that Shepard went out of bounds, pushed out of bounds. He can come back in and catch the ball if he enters the field immediately after the push.
Second down 10. Tillman. He's a good one. He goes down to the 35, and a Sooner first down. He was patient once he got out there on the corner. He waited long enough to get a read and got his yardage.
Tillman, now, remember, rushed for over 1,000 yards as a freshman. You can see that he's been hurt most of the year. Just had over 300 yards coming into this ball game. But there he protected the ball, something that the old Oklahoma teams of the past didn't do, Keith. They didn't worry about just running. Now they're disciplined to protect the ball.
That's a good day going here for Spencer.
Yes. He's very pleased. He's been struggling all year with that injury.
Bradley back to throw on first down. Down the middle for Keith Jackson, and he drops it. He had it. He was all alone.
Bradley makes a great throw. in talking to the Oklahoma coaches, Bradley's not very good throwing short in the middle, but he's good throwing the ball deep, has accuracy. And you can see he hits Jackson right there. I think Keith just kind of tightened up a little bit there. The ball was right there, should have been caught. Probably would have scored had he pulled it in.
Same play that worked for the big gain in their first touchdown drive.
The safety man is moving over to pick up the wide receiver deep and leaving the middle wide open.
4:27 to go first half. 7-0 Sooners. Ball on the Oklahoma State 35, and number 63, Eric Polk jumped. So Eric trying to anticipate and get a move against Leslie O'Neal. Gets caught.
Last year, Oklahoma had over 90 penalties, 15 alone in this ball game. This year, they've had just over 30. So you can see, just over 50, I'm sorry.
False start on the offense. It is still second down.
I can clarify now for you officially the problem a little while ago why Barry, and there was confusion, and Barry Switzer was upset. The indication of holding was in the wrong direction. There was no offsetting penalty. It was holding on Oklahoma, and thus with the incomplete pass, it became fourth down, though the marker did not reflect it. So simply an official pointing in the wrong direction. There's penalty flags all over the place now.
Keith, when your offense uses a lot of shift and motion, it's really tough for the lineman to sit in their place there while you have a lineman like O'Neal getting ready to rush. Watch the linemen are going to move while they're waiting there. Let's see which one it is. Dillingham, yeah, 99, 59, 59 is Dillingham, the right offensive tackle. Once he takes his three-point stance, he cannot move until the ball has been snapped.
That is not the most comfortable position in the world anyhow.
He was back on his haunches waiting to make that block on Harding, number 42.
So now you come all the way back to the 45, where it's second down and 20. And Bradley wanting to hustle away on a scramble. He saw O'Neal coming, but big old Leslie stuck out that hand and just took the little fella right on down.
O'Neal has that trait that makes him a great football player. Quickness, how quick he comes off the ball. He never gets stuck on the block, uses his hands. That's the #1 technique of the lineman. Never get stuck on the block. Push him away once you see where Bradley's going, and he does. Separates from the blocker. Number 69.
Yeah, but look how far he rode Burks back. Now, Burks is 270 pounds, 6'7", and O'Neal ran him back 10 yards.
Right into the quarterback, Bradley.
So they're back in midfield, where it is third down and 25. And Bradley again straight back. And they got him again. Number 91 does it this time, Warren Thompson.
Warren Thompson is a great athlete. Junior college transfer, but he runs a 4.5, Keith. One of the fastest players on the team. He has not been there except this spring. He's substituting for Webb, and he made another big play.
Winchester is in for his fourth punt of the day. And Wiley goes back now as the Oklahoma State defensive unit really asserted itself. Again, pressure, and they're going to call a roughing the kicker. They knocked Winchester down. Two Oklahoma State Cowboys came in. They got a little bit tangled up, and Harry Roberts, I think, was the man who knocked him down.
Keith, if I'm right, he incidental roughing is a 5-yard penalty.
I think you're right.
Roughing is 15. 15-yard penalty is now first down, and they had fourth and what, 30? At least 30 yards.
See, now his foot's down.
No, he had his foot down, Keith. You're exactly right. He now is another football player once he has time to regain his balance. Now we've got to see if it's a 5-yard penalty. It's not a first down. I believe I'm right on that. If it's 15 yards, it's an automatic first down. I haven't seen that call this year. They've just changed it.
Running into the kicker. It's a 5-yard penalty. The penalty is refused. It'll be Oklahoma State's ball.
Let's go back and see the sack by Thompson. Coming from the backside, he gets the break on Jackson. Number 88 is trying to block 91. Watch the hands, and now watch the 4.5 speed of 91, Warren Thompson, as he, look at the hands. That's a little bit illegal right there. I don't see how Thompson got away from the hands, but he sacks Bradley for the loss.
I don't understand why they refused the penalty.
They refused the penalty because of the good punt. They figured at 5 yards they'd have to kick the ball again, Keith.
Well, the punt was only 38. And Oklahoma's sitting out on the 20. Oklahoma State's on their own 23.
There wasn't much advantage to refusing. You're right. They just didn't want to snap it again, I guess.
I guess not.
To the punter.
3 minutes to play in the first half. 3. Charles Crawford and Kelly Cook now line up in the I formation for the Cowboys. 7-0 Sooners lead in this first half. And Rusty Hilger sets him at quarterback. And gives the ball to Crawford. And Crawford won't have much. Richard Reed, the first one to get there.
And help from Casillas, the nose guard. Great play by the defense.
Doubleheader for you next Saturday here on ABC. Auburn, Alabama, 12 Eastern time. Auburn with a win goes into the Sugar Bowl. And Florida State will follow at 3:30 Eastern time. And Florida denied entry into the Sugar Bowl by the Executive Committee of the Southeastern Conference this past week. 2nd down and 10. Hilger, pressure from the backside. Just gets it off. Hits his man. Penalty flag. Caught by Jamie Harris. And it was Troy Johnson coming from the backside, almost got the Oklahoma State quarterback.
If Harris ran into the defensive back, it's offensive interference.
We've got an ineligible man downfield.
On just a rollout pass, that's a tough call.
And here's Tim.
Keith, the battle cry down here on the Oklahoma State side of the field is composure. The coaches want these players to maintain their composure. You mentioned the psychological advantage the Sooners have, and I think everybody on this side is aware that they lead the series 60-12-6. But they are concerned because they're so excited. They are really fired up for this game. But the coaches think that the emotion gets in the way of concentration, like we just saw on that penalty. They want them to maintain their composure, execute. They think the game plan is sound.
One of the hardest things in the world, though, in front of 75,000 people in a ball game with such high stakes.
Let me make one other point.
And you are talking about 18, 19, 20-year-olds, too.
The Oklahoma defense is another problem for the Cowboy offense.
Just a small. Yes, sir. 3rd and 15. This is Crawford. And Crawford, the big back, he weighs about 230 pounds, and he does not get back to the 20. They belt him out just short of the 20. Brian Hall, who made that big play in the Nebraska game last week for Oklahoma State, and Troy Johnson. That's our halftime show for you.
Keith,
bowl rundown is like a fantasy land. It changes hourly.
2 outstanding defensive teams. Oklahoma State Cowboys can run. Oklahoma, their defense is strong and can run.
Cooper in on 4th down to punt. Hits it at his 10-yard line. Gets a good kick out of there this time. Runs Buster Rhymes back to his 36. Retreats to the 35. And they've got him at the 35. That's good coverage downfield by the Cowboys after a 44-yard punt into the wind by Kerry Cooper. Well, we've got 2:09 to play in this first half. And this is the Oklahoma football setting up their own 35. And Danny Bradley sets him up and goes to work. Wants to throw it. Going deep with it. Downfield intended for Shepard. And Shepard begging the case. Wendell Yancey with him. And no flag. So the pass is incomplete.
Another out and up, thinking that you try to get the back to bite on you. Yancey, number 48, gets his left arm right into, looks like he's blocking. That could have been called pass interference. Wasn't incidental, that didn't appear to me. It looked like he got his arm out in front of him, trying to hold him back a little bit.
Picky. 2:03. It's a contact game, a collision sport.
Not on pass interference, though.
Spencer Tillman squeezes in there for about 2 yards. And the clock is rolling along now. Inside 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Oklahoma looked good moving the ball in the first quarter. Got outside 2 or 3 times. Spencer Tillman making some breaks, but the Oklahoma defense, the state defense, is tightened up. The Cowboys look much better this quarter.
Sooners 3 out of 7 on 3rd down conversions. 3rd and 8. Bradley back. O'Neal almost got him. The ball is stepped up in the air and intercepted by Warren Thompson. And Oklahoma State is inside the 30 of Oklahoma.
In a big defensive struggle, the one thing you want to avoid at all possible, turnovers. Turnovers usually decide a defensive struggle like we've seen so far in this first half. The height and the speed of the Oklahoma State down 3 linemen is a problem to Bradley, who is only a 5'9" quarterback. Let's see if we can tell what Bradley saw, rolling to the left and going to throw back to the right. He has an alley, but when he tries to throw out in a flat, Harding, number 42, gets that left pole up in the air. Washington catches it.
And here comes the end around. Malcolm Lewis wants to throw it. He's got nobody to throw to. He's got to run it, and he picks up about 5. He moved the football down to the 26. That'll be a 4-yard gain. Brian Bosworth ran him out of bounds. He wanted to throw the ball deep. He had Harris down there, but Harris had a bunch of company.
Ideal time for a trick gimmick play is right after a turnover, and in particular against a team like Oklahoma in this first half. 14 carries rushing for the Cowboys for a total of 5 yards. That tells you how effective that Oklahoma defense is.
A minute and 15, 16 seconds to play. First half, 7-0 Oklahoma. From the 26, the Cowboys. Hilger, quick drop, pressure inside, tries to run it out of there, gets it to the line of scrimmage and close to the 25. Migliazzo and Richard Reed bring him down.
Is the winningest coach, Barry Switzer, in college football. The pressure on Hilger, as I said earlier, he throws mostly out of the pocket, which means the nose guard, the tackles, have got to apply the pressure. Now, Casillas is only being blocked by one man, the center, and you can see what a great charge and closing that Casillas had in that play.
Hilger back to the pass on 3rd down and 5. Throws it to Thomas out of the backfield, and Thomas has a first down for the Cowboys at the Sooner 15. And Pat Jones wants a timeout if somebody will look at him. And finally, they get it. So instead, right now, of the normal campus message, the universities would rather have the governor of Oklahoma speak to you.
Though fierce competitors on the football field, Oklahoma State University and the University of Oklahoma are teammates in the culture and economic development of our state.
Building on each university's academic strengths, world-class research and education centers being constructed at each university focus on 2 of the world's pressing problems, energy and food. A dynamic partnership by the state and private donors provides $100 million for OU's Energy Center and OSU's 21st Century Center for Agriculture and Renewable Natural Resources. These centers will expand Oklahoma's economy and move the nation forward in the age of high technology. Oklahoma, a great place to get an education.
Oklahoma, Oklahoma, O-K-L-A-H-O-M-A, Oklahoma.
The ball is just short of the Oklahoma 16, possession of the Cowboys. Oklahoma State, first down, trailing 7-0. Hilger back, 36 seconds as the clock goes. Pass is thrown through the hands of Barry Hanna, the tight end. Clock stops now with 32 seconds.
The 2 coaches, this is a critical situation right here, threatening Oklahoma State. The Cowboys need to pick up something here as Hanna gets shoved by both linebackers, and the ball is thrown a little bit hard, didn't you think, Keith?
Yep.
And a little bit behind him. Hanna could not hold it.
They've only got at most 3 people as receivers, though. Back goes Hilger again on 2nd down. There's pressure coming from the other way, but he runs away from it, gets it off, and the clock is rolling along. 20 seconds, and now they stop it. He's close to a first down with it. Depending on the spot looks to me like it's just outside the 6. And Oklahoma State now will spend another timeout. They have 1 left.
Misdirection passes. And then you have the quarterback dropping back and then rolling out. That's a call play. As you see, the linemen are out here to pick him up, but the receiver that he wanted to throw to deep in the end zone, Riley, had slipped down. Hanna comes back and catches the ball.
Give Rayburn credit now. Rayburn's a big, strong guy, 6'3", 195, and he takes on Hanna, who's 230 pounds. And, I mean, Hanna didn't advance a single millimeter after he caught the ball.
Rayburn is a headhunter, and you can see that he tackled him up high and knocked him right down. Rayburn, just a sophomore, but really a tough physical football player, taking the place of Stanberry. who was injured in an automobile accident.
They are short of the first down. They'll be looking at third down and less than a yard, or got a part of a yard, I guess it is.
Oklahoma State has only one timeout left.
Well, if they get their first down here,
the clock will stop.
The clock will stop. They get the first down as Thomas goes all the way to the 1. And you've got 17 seconds to play in the first half.
And they call timeout, Chief, even though it's the first down. They're going to talk about it. 2 plays.
And why would they not save the timeout for a field goal try in case they needed it? Macho time. We're going to stick it in the end zone.
Well, they're 1 yard away. We remember the goal line defenses in the fourth quarter Oklahoma used against Texas to save a tie and also against Nebraska to save a victory. So Oklahoma believes they can stop them right here. And that, again, is that tradition, Keith, that we talked about early. Oklahoma defense has prediction. 17 seconds.
Right,
they want to call 2 plays in the huddle.
Rusty, tell the guys hold up and throw that ball out of bounds.
Throw the ball. Throw the
yes.
deep ball out of bounds.
Tell them to get lined up wide on the second.
They're going to try to
2 plays, but you mean to tell me they're going to throw the ball?
No, Keith. They're going to run on first down. And then if they don't score, they're going to line up real quickly and throw it out of bounds and stop the clock. You're exactly right. They should have saved the timeout as the clock was going to be stopped on the first down. They had plenty of time to get up and run a play before the clock started again and save the timeout.
Glad I'm up here.
Yep, but in the heat of the battle right here,
Kelly Cook, the fullback, has not seen the ball today. When he doesn't get it here, Thomas leaps. All right, now you watch the clock roll along. They got that big stack there in the middle.
Oklahoma has to uncover or the officials will stop it.
They stop it with 4 seconds.
In other words, and they could penalize. Oklahoma unnecessarily stays on top of the ball. It is an unsportsmanlike conduct.
4 seconds. Hilger throws it in the end zone. Touchdown. I don't believe it. Incredible. Jamie Harris. That's incredible.
It's a sensational play. Here again, the senior quarterback, Rusty Hilger. Been there 5 years. Played 3 years. His team has gone to a bowl all 3 years.
He tried to throw that ball in such a way that if Harris couldn't get it, it would go incomplete, I guess.
But the
Harris
clock had run out. But the clock had run out. He didn't have a chance at a field goal.
Roach trying to tie it up. And he does. So, here's old Mo going to the clubhouse wearing white.
One of the most dramatic plays that we've seen this year.
Barry is complaining to John McClintock about something here. But it was, I thought for sure he would try to zip one out of reach and go to give him just the second or so for the field goal try. But lo and behold, Harris caught the lob, and Tim Brandt, here's Barry.
Tell me about it. What did they tell you when you went out there, Barry?
Oh, he said they weren't getting up off the ball. He had called timeout. No wonder they couldn't get off the ball. There's 22 people piled up on it. Called timeout with 4 seconds left. They had no timeouts.
All right, now tell me about the other one now. There was controversy before when you went there on third down. It looked like you were going to punt, call timeout. Then they said the penalty was...
No, they said there was offsetting penalties, and they had third down on the yard marker over here, and they didn't tell them to change it. So we don't know whether it's third down or fourth down. That's why I want timeout to ask them.
All right, Barry. Good luck the second half. Well, you can hear the crowd. 7-0 or 7-7 is our score. We'll be back with our halftime activities after this commercial message and a word from our local station.
All right, we want to show you the touchdown play here before we go to our cutaway here. Now watch Hilger. He takes that one step and throws this lob in the corner, and Harris goes in behind Rayburn and pulls it down with no time remaining on the clock.
It's a fade pattern. The favorite play in college and professional football. Go to the boundary, lay the ball over the outside shoulder. Perfect throw. Only one place is the ball going to come down where Harris, 83, has a chance for it.
Okay, now I'll do what Timmy was trying to do a while ago. We'll be back with a halftime after this commercial message and a word from our local stations.
Coach at OSU, and the first thing I'm going to ask you is what adjustment did you make? They ran the ball on you the first quarter, then you shut them down.
Well, Tim, we're playing with a bonus man in the middle. They run in the alley on the option.
hoping that we can prevent the big play on the pitcher to keep. And it is a little bit soft up inside. We just got to be a little bit patient and hope they get impatient on things.
Did you second-guess yourself at all about calling that time out there?
Well, I thought we were a little bit rattled at the time. I kind of wanted to get everybody settled down. Hilger did a great job of getting off the thing and getting them up. And, you know, we saw that the corner was coming off, so he just dumped it out, and there it was.
All right, Pat. Good luck the second half. Keith, back up to you.
You don't think he had wound up?
Keith, did I interpret him to say that he was going to throw the ball out of bounds, but when he saw the opening, he led the Harris to the touch? That's a great play by Hilger, the quarterback.
Ball rolled off the tee. Lasher didn't whip it. He pulled away from it, and they'll do it again. That was almost a Charlie Brown move there as Tim come in there and the ball rolls off and he gives it a whale at it and misses it. He turned upside down. Wind is a little gusty and getting cooler. And the prospect of rain exists, but so far I think we may be able to dodge it. Now here's the kickoff by Lasher. And it's Riley backing up in the end zone. He will not return it. He had to go about 6 yards deep. Here are the 2 touchdowns now. Here, the first one put on the board by the Sooners as Danny Bradley throws it to Keith Jackson, the tight end.
Play action pass. Look how wide open Jackson is. Safety man should have been there covering him since it was 3rd and 5.
The Oklahoma State touchdown was a remarkable thing.
Hilger was going to throw the ball out of bounds and saw the receiver going deep and changed, according to Pat Jones, and that looked like what he did and laid it right in the red basket for the touchdown.
And we're even at 7-7 with the first snap of the second half. Hilger sets him up, turns and gives the football to Thurman Thomas, and Thurman Thomas runs for close to 4 yards. The Oklahoma defensive unit, Richard Reed is a defensive tackle, 240 pounds. Tony Casillas, the nose guard, 270. Tommy Flemons, 255, the tackle. And Troy Johnson, the end, 215. Darrell Reed is the other end. Paul Migliazzo, a linebacker, and Brian Bosworth, the other linebacker. And Bosworth had 6 tackles in the first half for Oklahoma. It is on the 23 now of Oklahoma State, where it's 2nd down and 7 for the Cowboys. They've been averaging just under 2.5 yards on first down snaps, and I don't really think that's enough for a winning percentage anyway. Hilger on 2nd down wants to throw and does, and finds his man open for a first down. That's Malcolm Lewis. He got Lewis for the first time in a ball game, and now they're going to wave it off and say he didn't have possession of it.
Lewis drops the ball. The question is, did he drop it before he hit the ground?
Brian Hall is the left cornerback, 6'2", 200 pounds. Jim Rockford, the other corner for the Sooners, 5'10", 180. Tony Rayburn, the free safety, 6'3", 195. And Sonny Brown, 6'2", 190. Rayburn and Brown are both sophomores. Rockford and Hall are seniors. It is 3rd down and 7 now. And you see the ball squirt out as he goes down to the ground. So he didn't have it. And Rusty Hilger's looking at 3rd and long from his own 23. He drops the ball, picks it up, throws it as far downfield as he can. Malcolm Lewis is out there. He's got it. He's loose. Touchdown. I don't believe what I'm seeing. Rusty Hilger shaken up on the play. He's being helped off the field, and now he's moving with locomotion. But what an incredible turn of events here.
Once again, a senior quarterback, Keith. When he fell down, tripped, normally he would just try to look to get away, but he knew he had his receiver open for a touchdown. He didn't see it. He was on the ground, tackled.
Here's Roach for the extra point, and it's good. Well, the Oklahoma side of the field must think they're gut shot because they thought they had Hilger. He had dropped the ball. Then he was clobbered, and they're looking inside the mouth here. He was obviously quite shaken as he came off the field, but he picks up the ball and then throws it down. Now, watch this.
Casillas, number 92, rushing the quarterback. That's the... But it's over to the right, couldn't see
Clemens,
93, Clemens put the headgear on the numbers and raised it up into his mouth.
But then the juggling act was going on downfield as Hilger threw the ball just about as far as Rusty could throw it. And watch Lewis now hot finger it.
What? As Hilger just drops the ball, it bounces up Lewis is 6'3", 4'5" speed. Outstanding receiver. You can see he knows what to do after he concentrates. Look, he juggles the ball. I've never seen him pass for a touchdown juggled on both ends, Keith. The quarterback juggles it, and they pick it up and throw it for the touchdown.
67 yards.
77.
77, yeah. And Oklahoma State has gone out in front 14-7.
Golly.
And from the goal line, here comes Buster Rhymes for the Sooners. And Buster, running hard, comes back out to the 23.
Let's look at that play again. Watch Hill just drop the ball. He just drops it. The ball bounces off that artificial turf right up in his hands. He gets knocked down, and you see that he puts the ball right on the money. Now the juggling act begins again. He juggles it one hand, left hand, right. Now he pulls it in with his left hand, grabs it with his right hand. Who's that? I couldn't tell who the
That was Hall. Brian Hall.
Brian
missed
Hall,
him first.
21, missed him.
Rockford had the last shot at him.
Goodness. I agree with you. I don't believe it.
77 yards and a touchdown, and here's Daniel Bradley rolling out. He throws high. Shepard goes up and gets it and hauls it down for a first down at the 44.
First down against a great defensive team. Throw it.
James Ham, defensive end for Oklahoma State. Rodney Harding, tackle, 240. Nose guard is John Washington, 265. Leslie O'Neal, 235, 6'4". David Webb, 5'11", 200. Linebackers are Matt Munger, 6'2", 215, and Ricky Adams, 6'3", 220. And it's first down the Oklahoma Sooners at their own 44. The Cowboys have the lead, 14-7. Bradley running the option. Turns it upfield. And Yancey nails him down at the 49 of Oklahoma State. The secondary, there's the man that just made the tackle, Wendell Yancey, a sophomore. 195. Mark Moore, the other corner. He's 6 feet and 200. And Rod Brown, 6'3", 190. Adam Hines, 6'3", 200.
Oklahoma State still using that special defense with a hit man. Hudson lining up in the middle, mirrored himself on Bradley, the quarterback. Lined up right. I think Air Force Season against Texas, the first school to use this style of play.
Up man, Lydell Carr, the fullback for the Wishbone, and he hasn't seen the ball all that much today. And he picks up a couple of yards down to about the 47. So they'll be looking at third down and a yard and a half or so. The Oklahoma's offensive alignment there. Did you see the height that Shepard was able to get up? That ball, I thought it was over his head.
Great athlete. The Shepard family. This is the third Shepard brother from Odessa that had played at Oklahoma.
Rusty Hilger there trying to shake off the impact. Obviously, he's got a cut inside of his mouth.
I'm not sure he's not got something else in there, Keith. A little,
no, I think he was cut.
I know he was cut, but he's got something else in there.
Third down and a half a yard for the first down. It is Danny Bradley, the quarterback, keeping, and he surges behind his line to the 45. And let's check in now with Tim Brent.
Keith, it is a laceration of the tongue on Rusty Hilger. I was just talking to him. He took a lick, and when he fell back, he hit his head and bit his tongue. He's been spitting blood. He's trying to keep ice on it, but he says he's okay. He also has a laceration on his left hand. He took a pretty good lick, but he's all right. He is spitting blood, though.
Well, he's got in his mouth, his ice, I guess.
Yeah.
He's trying to stop the bleeding.
First down, Oklahoma at the state 45. Cowboys leading 14-7. Winner goes to the Orange Bowl. A chance to play for the national championship. This is a pitch out and a late pitch out to Spencer Tillman. And by the time Tillman got it, he'd run out of real estate.
There's just not enough room to run the triple option into the boundary. All teams know that, but if the opponent line up to the wide side of the field, you have to take a chance with it. Short gain on the triple option. Perfect execution. Just not enough room in the narrow side of the field.
It's second down and a little more than 5. Damon Stell is in the ball game now, number 27 for Oklahoma. Shepard goes to the wide side of the field. Bradley goes back. Shoots it. Oh, he's lucky to get it back. He intended to pass for Stell. And coming across, making a diving try for the interception was Adam Hines.
Oklahoma State busted the coverage. Keith Jackson's going to be wide open for the touchdown. Looked, hoping to see it down the middle. Somehow the safety men split. There's nobody. See Keith Jackson on the right of the screen is wide open for a touchdown. This one could have been intercepted. Hines was right there.
So it's third down and a little more than 5.
Here's Jackson. The safety man split, and you can see how wide open. Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Up man. He's close to his first down. Depends on the mark. They've marked him just inside the 35. Lydell Carr with a good hole on the left side and a good struggle. And the final inch or so.
Keith, I'm still amazed that Oklahoma State can get away with this defense as deep as their linebackers. Pat Jones, their coach, said that they are soft up the middle, and that is correct. Their linebackers are 5 yards deep. There's no one over the tackles. There's area for the fullback to run there if Oklahoma will be patient enough.
Well, BYU has won the final game of the season for them. And Houston has come back to lead Texas Tech 24-17, and it's a first down for the Sooners. A&M now trying to hang on against the Frogs 28-21 down that muddled Southwest Conference race. Well, they've taken that one right to the last moments of the season. And Notre Dame now 16-7 over USC, and they're playing in the rain in Los Angeles. Ball is just inside the 35. First down for the Sooners. Bradley hands the ball off, and dripping through the middle goes Damon Stell, and he's inside the 30, close to the 29. And it's amazing how many babies are playing for Oklahoma. They've got freshmen all over the place. They've got sophomores all over the place. Stell had only carried the ball 5 times before today, and now he's carried it 3 times for 20 yards.
So it's a credit to the Oklahoma coaches if they can still keep the execution on offense with that many rookies.
Second down, 5, and it's a short 5. Bradley got something going. Stay with it. Gives it to Stell again. And he's wrestled down by James Ham. They've marked him at the 27.
A little misdirection against the Oklahoma State linebackers, who are very quick to read and move towards the fullback. Take the fullback to one side, then hand back to the halfback. Is a good counter play for the wishbone attack.
Third down and about 3, and you know who hasn't seen the ball today?
Buster Rhymes.
You got it.
Didn't see it till late in the I guess late in the third quarter and against Nebraska, but they hit him on a post route and set up the go-ahead points.
He's not in there right now as they go to a 2 tight end alignment with a muscle for the first down. They are, I think, in Oklahoma's case, in 4-down territory here. And they've got the first down as Darrell Weddington carries it.
Why would they run right at Leslie O'Neal, the All-American linebacker? He's not as heavy and big as the other defensive man. He's more speedster, and you double team that type of player and run right at him when you have to have yardage.
So it's first down Oklahoma at the Cowboy 23. Sooners trying to respond to that jolt from the Cowboys to start the second half. Bradley. Dandy in this offensive formation, and it's first and goal to go. Oklahoma at the Cowboy 9.
The triple option with a quarterback like Bradley can really put pressure on the defense. The secondary have to make the play. The first fake is the fullback. Bradley wanted to keep it. You can see he's outside. He outruns Munga, number 90. He's outrunning O'Neal, 6. Rhodes. Watch Keith Jackson, number 88. He makes the block. It's an outside veer option, running the fullback outside of the end, opening up the quarterback keep.
On first and goal, Lydell Carr, the fullback, and he's close to the 3.
Roberts, number 6, came up with the football, but not until after the play was over. Well, Houston has beaten Texas Tech, which means that Arkansas or Houston or Texas, the winner of the SMU-Arkansas game tonight, and here the standings, will join the others with potential chance to the bowl games.
Read your paper. 13th play of this possession for Oklahoma on second down. Line of scrimmage, and that's all for Spencer Tillman.
We saw Oklahoma State line up with only 10 players. 11th ran out on the field, and luckily they didn't run to this side where they was short one man. He didn't get out to his position.
I don't think Tillman got full traction that time either. Seemed to slip.
Well, the last time they were in this situation, they went to the play action pass to the tight end.
Randolph is in there now at tight end. Jackson's out. Oh, they got two tight ends. Jackson's in. Randolph and Jackson are the two tight ends.
He's open again if they call it. No safety man to cover him.
Bradley options. Touchdown, Spencer Tillman.
Will they go for two right now, Keith, to try to get it uneven? I don't think so, but they could.
Boy, when that thing works, it really works.
The triple option, the fake to the fullback. He doesn't want to leave it there. Carr makes a great block. Now the speed, and at the last minute, Brent is going to lay it out right there to Tillman, and he just walks in. Spencer Tillman.
That's 14 plays, 72 yards, 6 minutes and 13 seconds.
The second long drive that Oklahoma has made against this Cowboy defense.
Lasher for the extra point. Good. 8 minutes and 5 seconds to play, and we're all even again at 14. 8:05 to play in the third quarter. The set of figures on the Oklahoma scoring drive, and it was an impressive march.
Much of the yards was gained by Bradley, the quarterback.
Lasher kicks it. He kicks it to Riley, and Riley is 4 yards deep in the end zone and will not return it. And so the Cowboys will begin first down at their own 20 in a 14-14 ball game. Rusty Hilger's back out there at quarterback. Senior leadership. Talked with his coach, Pat Jones, yesterday about the young man from Oklahoma City.
Rusty has performed his best, Keith, in our big ball games. Arizona State, Tulsa, Nebraska, Missouri. Fortunately, and I think that he'll perform that way tomorrow.
That interview, of course, was done yesterday afternoon, shortly after the Cowboys arrived in town. And so far, Rusty has played to his coach's expectations. A couple of remarkable plays.
And against a terrific defense. Oklahoma defense is awesome against the run, and they're a little vulnerable against the pass with two new men in the secondary because of an automobile accident with other starters.
Rusty's playing right now with a lacerated tongue. That is not comfortable, I'm sure. Pitch goes to Thurman Thomas, trying to go to the outside, and they just don't let you get there.
I remember General Neyland used to have one maximum about defense: chase the football and gang tackle. Oklahoma does that to perfection. They've got 2, 3, 4, or 5 red shirts around virtually every play that Oklahoma State has run the football.
Well, they've run 14 plays, the Cowboys have. The last 14 running plays, they've gained 3 yards.
Well, the reason you want a gang tackle is if the first man misses him, you've got 2 or 3 more there to hit him.
And the ball sometimes will come loose.
And it comes loose. You're there for the fumble.
Second down, 6. Hilger back. Down the middle it goes. Good to Barry Hanna. And the tight end has a first down for the Cowboys up around the 44-yard line.
This particular maneuver is a drop roll. Hilger drops back. He gets the Oklahoma defense rushing inside, and then he gets outside. You can see the white shirts. It's kind of like a screen, except the quarterback has got the ball. He buys a lot of time with that and finds Hanna right in the crease for the reception.
Barry's now caught 3 for 52 yards. Cowboys going first down from their 44. 14-14 ball game. Fumble, and Oklahoma's got it. Donnie Jones, linebacker, covers it, and Hilger and Thomas miss connections on the handoff.
I'm not sure who busted the play. Let's see if we can tell. Hilger has the ball. Oh, he was handing it to the fullback.
Yep.
The wrong man. I wonder if his head. Now, if I was the coach, I would go back and check Rusty and be sure that he still has his senses, you know, after the blow that he had earlier, Keith. He's handing it to the wrong man.
Possibility exists. 6:53 to go, third quarter. Well, Frank, you raised the question, is Hilger all right? Does he have all of his faculties after that head blow a little while ago? He tries to hand the ball to the fullback, Cook, Cook was not expecting it. Looked like the ball and the play was intended for Thurman Thomas. Comes loose, and Oklahoma covers it. First down at the Oklahoma State 45. Jerome Ledbetter is the fullback. Sid Tillman in motion. Give it to Ledbetter, and straight ahead dive for about 3.
Keith, there's a distinct possibility that Hilger, when his head hit the turf and when he bit his tongue, he could have been kind of knocked woozy a little bit. That happens. He can tell you most of the things. We always ask him what the score was. And if he told us the wrong score and he was good, we corrected him and sent him in the ball game. That's what I do with Hilger, I believe.
Second down, long 7. Actually, make it 8. Second down from the 43. Bradley rolling on second down. Whips it to the sideline. Shepard is over there, and he's short of the mark. Just short of the mark.
Bradley needs to roll out on his passes, on the short passes in particular. A little bootleg fake. Holds the secondary. Once again, we see single cover. Look how much cushion Moore is giving Shepard. Plenty of time to catch it and possibly make yards had he had a little more room. When you have that much room and cushion, you like to get the ball to the receiver ideally early enough for him to catch it and give a good move on that single coverage.
Just short, as you see. Shepard now 5 catches, 52 yards.
Well, you don't coaching when you coach a wishbone, Keith, you know you've got that, so you say to yourself, hey, let's don't go too often, just when we need it.
USC adding another field, or rather Notre Dame adding another field goal to lead USC out west. 6:13 to play third quarter. Dusty Hilger. 3rd and inches. Bradley, the quarterback, sneaks it over the right side. And Oklahoma now has converted their last 6 third-down plays into first down.
Keith, I think the main reason for that success is that they've been moving the ball forward. They haven't had any long yardage on third downs, and that's the ideal way the wishbone wants to play. Move those chains by using 2 or 3 downs. Patience. That's what I expect out of Oklahoma right now. Patience and try to take it in for the touchdown. But this is not a real patient Oklahoma team in the past. They have a lot of auxiliary offenses to the wishbone.
Bradley pops it into the middle, gives it away to the fullback, Ledbetter. And he's down here at the 30. Got about 4.5 on that carry, 4 yards given.
When you run the triple option as Oklahoma does, the defense is just as afraid to use any blitzes. We haven't seen Oklahoma State blitz this ball game, which they usually do repeatedly on third down and second and long. But the option play keeps you from doing that. Sometimes you run out the gate if they catch you in a blitz.
Buster Rhymes is now wide to the bottom of the picture. Bradley goes the other way with the option. And they turn him over at about the 26-yard line. Mark Moore.
And he's hurt. No, he's not.
Here's Tim Brett.
Keith, I just talked to Rusty Hilger about that laceration on his tongue and about being hit in the head, and he said he did lose consciousness just for a split second. It came back quickly. It had absolutely nothing to do with the fumble or anything that transpired after the hit. He said he had a full, complete control of his senses after that.
And how come he handed it to the wrong man?
That's what my question would be. Why did you hand it to the fullback on a straight turn and drop back to the
That's James Ham, the defensive end, coming off injured for Oklahoma State. Third down, 2.5. Bradley outside. He's got the first down. It goes to Patrick Collins, and Collins is out of bounds just short of the Oklahoma State 16-yard line.
Oklahoma busted the play. The fullback went the wrong way. Watch the fullback. He should have come to the left. He goes to the right and probably took the keys away from the defense. Bradley has nobody to think to, but he doesn't bother him at all. He just comes right out, and the speed of Collins, the freshman, gets outside of the Cowboy defense.
Tillman is back in, and Ham's back in for the Cowboys. First down from the 16. Tillman's got it. Boom. They stop him at the 14. Matt Munger, defensive charge for the Cowboys. Saturday doubleheader here on ABC. Auburn, Alabama starts it off at noon in Birmingham, Legion Field, and followed by Florida State, Tallahassee. Winner of Auburn, if Auburn beats Alabama, they go on to the Sugar Bowl. And we'll have an ABC viewer telephone poll next Saturday during the course of the day. And the question is, as you see it there, does BYU deserve to be ranked number 1? 111. Second down and 8. Jerome Ledbetter. He's close to the 10.
Chuck Thomas, the son of Oklahoma, is an all-conference player, and on critical yardage, it seems like they want to run right at the nose guard, Washington, who usually chooses a side, Keith, the right shoulder, left shoulder, and gives that fullback on the straight-ahead play a chance to make yardage because the linebackers are 5 yards deep.
Isn't it a good time to move them up?
I would think so. Look how close, how deep, what are they, Keith? 4.5, 5 yards.
Yep.
3rd and 2.
You've got double tight ends. You know they're going to run the ball. Bradley going outside with it. And Darrell Weddington is knocked out of bounds at the 10, short of his first down, and that should bring on the place-kicking unit.
Tremendous 3rd down play by the Oklahoma State defense. They had to get a good play, and the defense reacted to the triple option and ran him right out of bounds short of a first down.
Lasher's in for a 27-yard field goal try to give the lead back to the Sooners. 14-14 right now with 3:02 to go in the 3rd quarter. He's 9 out of 12 from this neighborhood this season. Kick is away and good. So Tim Lasher at 2:58 to go in the 3rd quarter makes it Oklahoma Sooners 17, Oklahoma State Cowboys 14. Well, now the lights are becoming a factor as the day wears on and we head toward dusk. In this half, Oklahoma has run off 23 plays in this 3rd quarter to only 6 for OSU. 17-14, Sooners lead, and again, Lasher has hit the ball deep into the end zone, bounces out, comes out to the 20, and here's Jim Lempley.
Quick note from the Division I AA playoffs, Keith. You live by the pinball scoreboard and you die by the pinball scoreboard. Mississippi Valley State, which got so much publicity this year for running up the score against their opponents in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, was beaten today by Louisiana Tech 66-19. Willie Totten, who had such an amazing statistical year, threw 6 interceptions today, and you have to believe that Archie Cooley got a little of his own medicine as the 66 points were a 1 AA playoff record. Back to you, Keith.
I think you're absolutely right. It's 1st down and 10 now. Oklahoma State at the 20. Hilger on 1st down to the sidelines and loops it over the head of the intended receiver and out of bounds. He was trying to get the ball to Malcolm Lewis, and I'm a little surprised he could find Malcolm because he was really covered.
Pushed right out of bounds by the double team coverage. Lewis had no chance to get in the secondary at all. Throwing on 1st down. Here's the Oklahoma defense. Just outstanding. 2nd in rushing, 2nd in total, and 7th in scoring. That's what championships are made of, that type of defense.
2nd down 10. Hilger throws this one short to Malcolm Lewis. Lewis trying to fight ahead for the marker and can't do it. His progress will be around the 29, a yard short of the 1st down, as Sonny Brown and Brian Bosworth just were not going to let him have that 30-yard line.
Once again, they double covered, Oklahoma double covered both receivers. Then you have to run the pass, the little quick slant inside, and Lewis came right in. He's a good target, 6'3". Here's Hilger's 10 for 19, 176, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's only thrown 4 interceptions for the entire season. Shows what poise and confidence the young man has.
3rd and a yard. Oh, boy, I don't think so. It'll be close.
According to the mark, the spot.
Well, the man marking from the short side of the field is the man that's going to mark it. And it looks to me like he's got the foot short from the line.
Yep. Who was the tailback that carried the ball?
Thomas. Thomas.
He should have spun forward. He had enough blocking to make the first down.
Go for it. Go for it.
No, they're not, Keith. They're going to punt it. That's a tough break for Oklahoma State. They don't need to have their defense out on the field anymore in this quarter. Offense needed to keep the ball. 22 carries for 22 yards. OSU rushing against this excellent Oklahoma defense.
Sooners ought to come out of here with pretty good field position. Cooper's kick hanging up there, and a fair catch by Rhymes back at the 33. 37-yard punt. And again, let's go to Jim.
All right, the final score from College Station. Texas A&M beat TCU 35-21. One statistical note, Tony Franklin's little brother played for the first time today for A&M and kicked 2 field goals of 45 and 50 yards. And Frank Broyles, maybe you can tell us, what does this mean now about the Bluebonnet Bowl? Do they take TCU or do they take Texas, which also lost today? And who now has the inside track to the Cotton Bowl? It's confusing.
Tell you what, Jim, he doesn't know.
Yes, I do know. I've talked to the other athletic directors. I'll explain in a minute.
First down for Oklahoma at the 33. Bradley. Oh! McElwee was almost picked off. Rod Brown had the thing in his hands and nothing between him and the goal line but fresh air.
Everybody thought Texas was going to the Cotton Bowl. The 4 other teams accepted bowl bids. The lost odds, the Texas athletic director called each athletic director and asked them could they work it out where if Texas wasn't in the Cotton Bowl, the team that went to the Cotton Bowl, Texas would replace them. If Arkansas is in the Cotton Bowl, Texas goes to the Liberty Bowl. If Houston's in the Cotton Bowl, Texas replaces them. If SMU's in the Cotton Bowl, Texas goes to the Aloha Bowl. That's the way it's set up. Last Thursday, Jim. At about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So that game tonight, then, is a big one.
Yes, it is. Arkansas could win and go to the Cotton Bowl tonight.
It's outside pitch. Big play. Darrell Weddington. First down for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Excellent execution. The wishbone is difficult. The outside fake, the guard Pickett is pulling. The fullback, he doesn't want to leave it to the fullback. Bradley keeps it. That's the second option. Now he gets a good block from Tillman downfield on the state. Now he options the quarterback more, pitches the ball back to Weddington, number 30. Big gain.
All the way to the Oklahoma State 48. Inside the 48, where it's a first down. In the middle, Lydell Carr. Got a feeling, Frank, that the Oklahoma State defensive unit may be growing a little weary.
Well, we saw this against Nebraska. They've been out there a long time. Oklahoma has snapped the ball something like, what, 25 or 30 times this quarter.
Down 7 yards to go. Ball rests on the 45.
That makes a difference to how you pursue, how you get that little extra effort out for that wishbone attack from sideline to sideline, a mirrored offense.
Those 2 sets of statistics right there will tell you a lot about why the defense is tired. Second down and 7. Bradley still coming with it. Keeps it. And turns it for the first down at the 35.
Well, that's vintage wishbone attack. O'Neal, number 99, takes on the block. What I say earlier, you don't get stuck with a blocker. The great defensive players release. Now, he will give that second effort right there. Get away from him. Once he finds out the fullback hadn't got the ball, he's got to pursue down the line. Good fake by Bradley. He keeps the ball instead of pitch it. O'Neal makes the play. 116 tackles coming into this ball game for a down lineman. I don't remember a down lineman making over 100 tackles in a ball game. O'Neal is outstanding.
The end of the third quarter is at hand as Bradley on a broken play scrambles to the right side and gets thrown for a loss. They'll mark him down at the 40. The third quarter is over. It's a 17-14 Oklahoma lead, and we'll continue after this commercial message and a word from our local stations. 14. Share of the Big 8 Conference on the line. Trip to the Orange Bowl on the line to play Washington, which could define a national championship for the winner of that game. And it's second down 15 for Oklahoma. Bradley hands it off inside, and number 42 steps up in there to get a hold of Lydell Carr. Number 42 being Rodney Harding.
All through the years of Oklahoma's winning, you've learned to appreciate the running game. You see they've rushed for 197 yards, and Oklahoma State has only rushed for 22. 1 turnover apiece. Oklahoma the upper hand in the third quarter with 28 snaps to 9 for OSU.
Ledbetter is in and Carr is out now at fullback for the Sooners, where it is 3rd down and 13.
First time they blitz.
Going deep for Shepard. No good. Defending Moore. And it's 4th down and 13, and the punting team's out.
Keith, this is the first time that we saw the blitz by Oklahoma State leaving really one-on-one coverage. No safety. Safety man's up covering the tight end. 44 Moore is trying to cover Shepard. The ball is thrown high, incomplete. Moore did a pretty good job of covering him. He had to cover him all over the field.
Winchester to punt. Number 5 on the day. Just starting the 4th quarter, and the Sooners leading by 3 points. Pops it up. The Oklahoma State man had signaled fair catch, tried to come up to get to the ball. Oklahoma's recovered the football, but
Keith, it should be a penalty. It should be a penalty on the defense. If they don't call it, the defense cannot get within 2 yards of the...
He threw a beanbag back there where the player first contacted the ball.
Well, the defensive man was not giving the fair catch man ample opportunity to catch the ball. The rules say 2 yards. 2 yards from the safety man. If I was Pat Jones, I'd call. Well, let's see. Was it a clear fair catch? Well, it doesn't make any difference. Anytime the fly of the ball is downward, that's a good fair catch. The defense cannot get within 2 yards of it. Now, let's see if they do. They have to move. He cannot catch the ball. If I was Pat Jones, you have to give him 2 yards room to catch the ball, the safety man.
Oklahoma's got it at the 25. And Bradley ends it off inside to Stell, and Damon Stell cuts it down near the 20.
Let's look at that one again. This is a very simple call for the officials. Everybody knows the safety man gets the right to catch the ball. The number 40, is that number 46? Number 46, Casper, is in his way. He cannot possibly catch the ball. Even the rules starting 2 years ago say you have to give him 2 yards, and he didn't do it. I don't know how the officials blew that. I don't know how they blew that.
2nd down and about 6. Bradley still got it. Now goes outside to Tillman. And touchdown, Tillman.
Option. First to the fullback. Don't want to leave it there. Number 91, Thompson, tackles the fullback. Now, Bradley goes to the 2nd man. Yancey takes him. Now the pitch. And the speed. There's no substitute for speed. Luck follows speed. Great execution of the triple option.
Kick is up. And the kick is good.
Keith, I've got to say, that call by the officials could possibly cost Oklahoma State a chance at a conference championship and a national championship. Never know.
There was no real great protest, though, from the sidelines. 10-point lead with 13:22 to play in the football game, and Lasher will kick it off into the wind now. Oklahoma State's got the wind at their back. And this goes to Bobby Riley. Riley pops out of there with it and comes out to the 35. That's about a 33-yard run back. Jim Rockford finally brought him down. Now, let's check in with Tim Brandt to see if we can get some clarity on that last call.
Keith, I just talked to the official that made the call, and his statement was he dropped his beanbag where the ball was fumbled. He said then he moved the ball back to that spot, and that it was definitely a fumble. I said, well, did he give him access to the ball? Did he have the 2 yards to make the catch? He said in his opinion he did. It was a fumble, clear cut. He made his decision, and that was it.
Oh, I've been in this game 37 years, and I've never seen a cop-out even worse than that. Because he threw the beanbag way back there,
yeah, back on the 11.
And the ball was way up 10 yards in front of him. No wonder he was confused.
Out on the 35, it's a first down. Cowboys down by 10, and Hilger now goes to the pass, swings it out. Charles Crawford. And Crawford is cut down by Tony Rayburn. Crawford is shaken up on the play. Took a lick on the knee.
Tony Rabin, the strong safety, is substituting for the great Keith Stanberry. Made a tremendous play. Dropped back, covered the deep man, and came up and made the tackle. Good shoulder tackle right into the leg. When you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, the defense do not cover you behind the line. They have to spot you something, so the man's open behind the line. But a good defensive team then reacts up on the ball once it's thrown. And here's Rabin, number 35, tackling Crawford for just a short gain.
And Crawford is still down. The damage is to the right knee with 12:59 to play in the football game. Crawford has been helped to the sidelines. Damage to the right knee. Don't know how much. And the clock is running now as Oklahoma State comes up on second down and a little bit more than 10, about 11 yards. Trailing by 10, Hilger is going to use the pass, drops and rolls, now gets his pass away, and it is incomplete. And again, great coverage by the Oklahoma secondary.
Let's look at this. The safety man is signaling for a fair catch.
Now, on the punt.
Yeah. Now the referee throws the beanbag way back to our right, which means he thought he'd already caught the ball. He got so confused. But the penalty occurs because the defensive man, number 46, Casper, does not give the safety man 2 yards, ample room to catch the ball. The beanbag is way to the right. He's supposed to drop the beanbag when the receiving team first touches the ball.
I thought it was a bad call.
Bad call. He was confused as he could possibly be.
No call. Third down and 11.
Touchdown.
Intercepted. He underthrew him. He had Malcolm Lewis wide open, underthrows him, and it's intercepted by Ricky Dixon.
Ricky Dixon, number 29, is another one of those players that is substituting for the injured Sooner halfbacks. A bootleg type of pass.
But look downfield and see how wide open Lewis is.
Lewis is open for the touchdown, and Hilger doesn't even throw it to him. Watch Hilger throw the ball inside. Why would you throw the ball there when Lewis is way over on the boundary? I still question whether or not Hilger is not still a little bit woozy from the hitting his head on the turf after that touchdown pass.
Back early in the third quarter.
Early in the third quarter, on the 77 touchdown yard.
All right, Oklahoma on its second turnover now sets up from its own 34, first down, and bouncing outside with the ball is Lydell Carr and moves up past the 37. Looking at scores now of games having been played today, BYU, number 1 team in the country, continues undefeated with a 38-13 win, winning another Western Athletic Conference championship this year. Baylor has defeated Texas 24-10 in that puzzle down in the Southwest Conference over the respective bowl assignments. And South Carolina came back to edge Clemson 22-21 in Death Valley. Second down and 6. Bradley keeping the ball, turning it, and goes to the outside man. The ball is dropped by Spencer Tillman out of bounds.
The delayed pitches by Bradley on the triple option, really beautiful. Experienced quarterbacks can run with the ball, turn down the field, and then pitch right off of the halfback. That is really devastating to any defense.
Pittsburgh clobbered Penn State today, and Maryland won the ACC championship, beating Virginia by 11, and Virginia's about to make its first bowl appearance ever. Bill Dudley got to be busting his buttons.
Well, let's give credit to George Welch. When he took the job at Virginia away from Navy, leaving Navy, we all wondered why he did that. Well, he knew something that some of us didn't know.
Third down and long 4 now for the Sooners as Bradley drops. Goes deep sideline pattern. Is out of bounds, or did he catch it? Well, they're giving him the catch. Keith Jackson making the catch right on the boundary.
An excellent throw by Bradley. Once again, a fake in the backfield to try to hold the linebackers. Jackson is just running a fly pattern right towards the boundary. Let's see, he has to have possession of the ball with 1 foot in bounds. Well,
I can't call it.
There's an official right there. I can't call it. Well, he doesn't even catch the ball. See the ball roll out? He doesn't even have it. See the ball? He never did have possession of it. Official was blocked out.
Ball is just inside the 40 on first down. They give it to the inside man's Tillman, and Tillman running hard. Doesn't look like that hamstring's bothering.
He's gaining confidence, Keith. He's been struggling all year with that leg muscle, and now he's gaining that confidence, and he is running much better than he has all fall.
Ball is on the 32. Second down. And about 2.5. Patrick Collins is in now. He goes in motion, and that leaves the fullback. And Ledbetter has the first down for the Sooners as he punches his way to the 28.
Munga, number 9, in the leading tackle. Look how deep he is. Second down and 2. He's still lined up. Look, he comes up 4 yards before he ever gets towards the ball carrier, but he does bring Ledbetter down after a short gain, but not before the first down.
Oklahoma State defensive team's been out on the field virtually the entire second half.
And with the east-west, the option play going boundary to boundary, that tires the defense out, Keith, a little more than anything else.
And Tillman is tripped, and again, I think he tripped over his own man. 23 carries now for even 100 yards for Spencer Tillman. Our NFL football presentation numbers 2 this coming week. The New York Jets at Miami. And, of course, the Dolphins have already clinched the American Conference Eastern Division, while the Jets are sitting in there with a 6-6 record and still alive for a wild card thing. New England, of course, will be watching that one. And we also have a Thursday night presentation, Washington at Minnesota. Here goes Danny Bradley. He turns around and runs right back into Leslie O'Neal. And when you run into Leslie O'Neal, ladies and gentlemen, you stop.
We've talked about the great football players that just have second effort. They're going to get blocked. 2 of them going to block him right there. The tight end Jackson and the left tackle Burks. But now watch what happens after this. You wouldn't think that 99 Leslie O'Neal would still be in the play, but watch what happens. That's perseverance. Get after him, Leslie. Right there. He's coming back to you. Right on the tackle. Another one.
Just like rabbit hunting. 9:29 to play in the football game. 24-14. Give you this information, and it'll pretty well define things for you. Oklahoma has run the ball 62 times for 245 yards. Oklahoma State 23 times for 21 yards. And Oklahoma's looking at 3rd down and 10 now at the Cowboy 27-yard line. Leading 24-14. Bradley slipped down.
Blitz was on, Keith.
Blitz was on, and Danny trying to set himself and cut away from it. Could not get away from Leslie O'Neal, and down he goes.
The blitz was on. The linebackers are blitzing. Bradley slipped as he sets up very deep in the pocket. O'Neal is right there for the sack and taking Oklahoma right out of the field goal range. Winchester is in. Riley goes back for Oklahoma State. 8:59 counting to play in the game. Winchester pops it straight up. Don't get much out of that. Well, let's see what happens. Yep. When
it takes an Oklahoma State bounce and then is slapped all the way back upfield by one of the Sooners, but it'll be marked down for Oklahoma State up around the 29-yard line, so it's going to be a 9-yard punt. College scoreboard follows us. Jim will have a rundown on the day. We've got 8 minutes and 43 seconds to play now in the ball game, and the Cowboys have the ball, pretty good field position, and they trail by 10 points.
I think the question is, what's happened to the Oklahoma State running game? Well, the Oklahoma State running game is out of the eye, Keith. You and I have talked about it all fall. The tailback is 7 yards deep. You have to sustain your blocks and turn those defensive men, and Oklahoma's just too good for them.
Yep.
They're too good for the Oklahoma State offensive line. Slow developing offense is not something you can hurt Oklahoma with.
Mark it on the 28 for Rusty Hilger. Goes deep with it and overthrows Malcolm Lewis. Lewis was out here with Rayburn and Rockwood coming across to help and seemed to get hung up for just a moment.
Here's the reason. Most of the time in college, the team that rushes makes the exemption of Brigham Young. Most of the team that rush for the most yardage win the college football games. Oklahoma State has 21 yards rushing, where 5 Oklahoma backs have gained more than 21 yards. That tells a story. That's a telling statistic.
Second down and 10. Looked like he checked off. Short drop, quick pass, Lewis, and he's high-load just beyond the 35, near the 36. They'll need 2 more. Brian Hall, the first man to get there on Lewis.
Keith, we go back to the third quarter when Oklahoma State had third down and about a half a yard and did not make the first down, and then Oklahoma has had the ball most of the time since then. Oklahoma's
40 plays to 13
in this half. 13 plays this half tells you just how effective 2 things, both the Oklahoma defense and the Oklahoma offense keeping the ball. Combination of the 2, winning edge.
3rd and 2. Little short over the middle, and the pass is good to the tight end Hanna for a first down at the 40, and Hilger showed good poise that time because Bosworth was climbing all over him.
When the coaches talk about Brian Bosworth, the linebacker, they have glowing praise for him, just a freshman, but plays like a senior. Leading tackler. Here's the pressure. Here's 44, Bosworth. 92, Casillas, both of them right on top of Hilger. As Keith said, he made a great play to complete the pass.
7:42 to play in the ball game. First down at the 40. Runs away from the pressure, gets it off deep. Throwing it for Malcolm Lewis again, and he misses him by a good 15 yards.
One thing that Oklahoma is doing as effective as anybody we've seen all year is disrupting the pass route.
Yep.
Rockwood is knocking Lewis over and knocking him off of his pass route, delaying the timing, and Hilger doesn't know where to throw the ball.
Well, you know what it looks like to me? They're really whacking Lewis, and then Lewis seems to
give up.
Yeah, break his concentration, and he's just not running hard.
That's right. Once he's gotten disrupted from his pattern, he just quits and gives up. Hadn't completed down the field.
Second down and 10. Hilger. Blitz goes down. Rayburn.
Strong safety blitz. You're not ready for it. You can't side adjust and make the adjustment. He's coming clean from the right of your screen. There's not a blocker on him. As you see, Rayburn, just the sophomore, comes in and tackles Hilger for the loss. Good change of pace by the Oklahoma defense. When they get you in long yardage, watch out. They are tough.
Tell you one thing, I'd like to see BYU play this Oklahoma team.
It'll be interesting, but
I'm not sure that Don James and the Washington Huskies are going to have an easy time of it all.
No.
Hilger again is caught and thrown for a loss back around the 20.
Ideal time, the blitz, leading by 10 points. The Oklahoma State offense a little bit unsettled. They are not picking up the stunts. Again, here's Bosworth coming right here, number 44, right on top of him. And number 40 coming from the outside, the defensive end, Riedel. And one reason that this happens is when you double team the nose guard, you leave everybody else single block. You can see both Tucker and the right guard, Pardita, double teaming when they should be watching for the blitz. But Casillas makes all of that possible.
Cooper kicks it, and Sonny Brown catches it, sits down with it for Oklahoma at the Sooner 42. Now it's just a matter of running out that clock, which shows 6:05.
Keith, in talking about Oklahoma in this ball game, Ferris told me yesterday that if he could win this game and win it convincingly, he felt like that they'd have a chance if they could beat Washington to win the national championship, because their team has played Washington, which would have played Washington, who's ranked #1 parts of the season. They played Texas when Texas was ranked #1, tied them. They played Nebraska when Nebraska was ranked #1 and beat them. A lot of that goes towards the people when they start voting for national championships about the schedule the teams have played.
On 1st and 10 for the Sooners from the 42, Bradley gives it inside to Lydell Carr. And the clock now is rolling, and Oklahoma State's timeouts, they have 3.
Oklahoma State has got to do something dramatic. They've been playing a very soft defense. As Pat Jones said, We assault inside trying to stop the option play. But they haven't stopped the option play, even though the defense has been lined up in what you would think was the ideal defense to make the play. They couldn't make it because of the speed and the execution of Bradley.
Give that young man a couple of years, I would suspect. He'll be right there knocking on the door again. Here comes Bradley on the option. And they get him just over the 45. 5:19 clock running. Here's Jim.
For anyone who might not have been with us earlier, we remind you that South Carolina beat Clemson 22-21. First time the Gamecocks have won at Clemson in 14 years in a game which snapped Clemson's 25-game home unbeaten streak in one of the toughest stadiums to play in as a visiting team in the country. One interesting fact, the winning extra point kicked with 54 seconds left on the second try for South Carolina. The first one they missed wide, but Clemson was penalized for having too many men on the field to give South Carolina the opportunity to win the game. Back to you, Keith.
Oh, me.
Coaches have a hard time living that down.
This is Stell, Damon Stell, diving past the marker and looks to have another first down for the Oklahoma Sooners at 4:38 to go in the football game.
Oklahoma State are playing the defense that Florida State played against them in the Orange Bowl a few years ago. The reason is the Oklahoma State line coach was on the Florida State staff, and they anticipated this and worked against this scheme, something Oklahoma State had not used all year long, but good thinking by the Oklahoma coaches, planning that it could happen. They were ready for it and have been very successful. Here's the rushing yards by quarters. Look at that. Well, when Oklahoma keeps the ball 40 snaps in this half, the defense doesn't have to play very much, do they?
This is Tillman. Caught by O'Neal and brought down after a couple of yards.
O'Neal just doesn't give up. He's just a junior. All-conference last year. Number 99. Watch him. Shuck the blocker. Use his hands. Work his feet. Keep parallel to the line of scrimmage. Chase the ball carrier. Wrap his arms around. What more can you do for a lineman?
Boy, he's a good football.
He is an outstanding player.
3:45 to play in the game.
Keith, if he hadn't made the tackle, Tillman might have made a long run, too.
Yeah. Because Card come out there and thrown a whale of a block for it. Tillman again, and again it's O'Neal greeting him at the line of scrimmage. Forward progress down to the Oklahoma State 45 for a yard.
You don't run delayed plays with at a lineman like O'Neal as fast as he is. You run quick plays at him, and that was what Mac Brown, the offensive coordinator, told me yesterday. We're going to run quick at O'Neal and power. We're going to run power at O'Neal, not reverse plays. O'Neal came off the block, had plenty of time on the counter play to make the tackle. His quickness, big advantage.
Third down, long 7. They go with the ground game, give it to Stell, and Stell is wrestled down by the pack at the 43, and that brings Winchester back out to punt.
But after Oklahoma gives up the ball, Oklahoma State has got a very tough time. Oklahoma will blitz and mix up the blitz and dropping back, and poor Hilger is going to have a difficult time getting anything going. Oklahoma defense is just too good.
Winchester only had 9 yards on his last punt, trying to pop it up in the air and kill it deep. See if he angles for a corner this time.
They're using the 25-second clock. They'll use all the time they can. Take a 5-yard penalty.
Why not?
They're not going to snap it.
So they'll get 25 more now.
Yeah, 5-yard penalty here is academic. Good play by the Oklahoma coaching staff. Use up every second that you can.
Game on the offense.
Keith, going back to the Cotton Bowl, it is confusing. The game with SMU and Arkansas, both have lost 2 games. The winner of that ball game will have a good chance to go to, if it's Arkansas, will have a good chance to go to the Cotton Bowl. If it's SMU, SMU's only chance to go would be Texas and Houston lose next week.
I'm not going to mess with that.
There are 3 or 4 more options, but I'm not going to say it.
Got 10 men up there. They're going after it.
Go get it! Go get it!
Just gets it out. Yancey, for the 3rd time in the game, almost got to the ball, and this time Riley gets a little daylight and makes the catch, the fair catch up at the 19. 29-yard punt, 2:02 to play in the game, and a doubleheader coming up next Saturday. Auburn and Alabama at noon Eastern, followed by Florida State at 3:30 Eastern time. And we'll have a number posted for you next week where you can cast your own ballot on national championship, based, of course, on the argument that's going on now as the fact whether or not BYU, if they win in the Holiday Bowl, and if they win in the Holiday Bowl, I'll tell you, the voters in the polls are really going to have to sit down and chew their pencils. I'm just old-fashioned enough, Frank, to think if somebody wins them all, you got to
That's my thinking. You can't fault them for who they have to play. That's not their fault.
That's right. 2:02 to play in the football game, and Oklahoma calls timeout. 5006 at Owen Field on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. And the Cowboys now with 2:02 to play in the ball game, trailing by 10 points, come up first down at their own 19. Pressure's on, passes away, trying to set up a screen. They've got a man working in there, Thurman Thomas, and he's up to about the 25. Once again, Rusty Hilger takes a lick as he delivers the ball.
Well, they're going to the 2-minute offense. If they cannot huddle, they cannot use any time getting the huddle unless the clock is stopped and it's running after the completed pass.
They gain 6, second down 4. Blitzing, and they've got him back at the 20. Richard Reed brought him down.
Keith, just thinking two things. First is, have you seen a better defensive team than Oklahoma has shown us the last 2 weeks?
Nope. The
goal line stands. Talking to Barry yesterday, 2 goal line stands, sensational goal line stands, make the difference for this Oklahoma football team.
Hilger's pass is away to Hanna, the tight end, and Hanna dives for the marker, and he's close. Well, how about Texas? That wasn't too tacky either, was it?
That's right. The goal line stand with Texas starting on the 2-yard line. 1st and 2, and failed to score. Nebraska starting on the 2-yard line. 1st and 2, failed to score.
4th down and 1.
4th down, they pitch it wide. Ball goes to Sean Jones in for the first time today. They go wide, trying to catch Oklahoma in a blitz. And Jones loses yardage on 4th down. The Sooners are now cooking with 45 seconds to play.
Keith, I've got to still say that Pat Jones has done a marvelous job of coaching. A 9-2 record ain't too shabby. And coming in June, doing the job that he did, picking up the loose ends after Jimmy Johnson left and getting things organized, keeping it organized, won as many games in his first year as a head coach as any Oklahoma State team has ever won.
Well, they're still throwing oranges out into the stadium. I heard a fellow at halftime say, well, we got 3 of them on the way to jail, getting time to think about it. They're still throwing oranges.
You'd think they threw them all earlier.
Well, Pat and the Cowboys are going down to the Gator Bowl on December 28th. Jacksonville. That's a nice trip and a pretty good paycheck.
And playing a good team against South Carolina.
Primetime television. You're on ABC. And Oklahoma is going to be going on to Miami again with a chance at that big title against the Washington Huskies, who finished their season 10-1.
Of course, the big question we'll be asking the fans next week about Brigham Young. And Brigham Young will be playing Michigan 11 days before New Year's Day.
Washington defensive crowd's not too bad either.
No, that'd be some defensive struggle there.
Bradley puts his knee down. That gets the clock rolling at 40. He should come back and run around a little while before he put his knee down.
But he doesn't want to hurt his statistics.
70 carries in the ball game on the ground for Oklahoma. 248 yards for Oklahoma State, -4 yards.
The central figure in that offense is Bradley. They had Oklahoma positioned themselves where Bradley was the key, indirectly or directly, on virtually every play. Give him a chance to make the big play with his speed.
The last snap of the ball game coming right here. Now the clock will run out. And the final score, the Oklahoma Sooners 24, the Oklahoma State Cowboys 14. The before a crowd of 75,006. The Oklahoma Sooners are on their way to the Orange Bowl to play Washington. The Oklahoma State Cowboys on their way to the Gator Bowl December 28th. They will play the South Carolina Gamecocks. It's been quite a year for Barry Switzer. He's had a rough couple of years, but everything turned around for him this season.